that. I mean, it's really, really cool and kind of surreal. It doesn't really feel real, honestly, but I'm really excited to get out there and play and kind of just see the environment today.
And, uniquely for you, it probably makes you think of your father as well, right? Because that's what the movie's all about, and you guys share that baseball.
Yeah, definitely. I think it just brings up all those old memories, I guess, just being around baseball. And it's really special, and I'm just excited to kind of soak in this moment, enjoy it all. And like I said, it's kind of surreal just being out here.
Surreal is a very good word. Yeah, that was Phillies center fielder Justin Crawford as we welcome you back to Phillies on Deck here in Dyersville, Iowa. Time now for the RAV4 Things to Know, brought to you by your local Tri-State Toyota dealers. Number one, the teams are going to wear special uniforms for this game here tonight. The Phillies will be wearing their 1939-41 road grays, which, by the way, are awesome. And the Twins, they're going to rock their original home uniforms from the 1960s. Both teams looking sharp here tonight. Number two, a loss on Thursday night here would knock the Phillies out of playoff position for the first time since June the 3rd when they were 32-29. Meanwhile, if the Twins were to win tonight, they would move into playoff position with a victory and a Rangers loss at Anaheim. So a lot on the line with 40 games still to play in this season. We're keeping our eyes on the standings at this point. Number three, well, you want to have a catch? How about this? No active catcher has caught more innings from an individual pitcher than JT Realmuto has caught from Aaron Nola. The two have combined for 947 2/3 innings so far in their career. They will be together here tonight in Iowa. And number four, is this heaven? No, it is Iowa, right? Well, Derek Hill, born in Des Moines, Iowa, is set to become the first Iowa native to participate in the Field of Dreams game here tonight. We talked to Derek a little bit earlier. He's excited to be back home and back here at the Field of Dreams. It certainly is a great sight. And by the way, we were worried about the weather all day long. As we speak right now, the weather is picture perfect. Blue skies, some white puffy clouds out there in the sky, and it is a perfect temperature, right around 75 degrees as well. So we're doing just fine in the weather department as well. All right, we'll take another quick break here on the show. When we come back, we're going to hear from the starting pitcher of tonight's game, Aaron Nola. That's coming up next right here on the Phillies Radio Network.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again.
Yeah, that was Terrence Mann, also known as James Earl Jones, reminding us all why we are here tonight in the middle of the Corn Belt, Dyersville, Iowa. It's baseball. It's baseball, and there is no better reason. They built it, and we've all come to enjoy some baseball here tonight. Welcome back to Phillies on Deck. It's going to be Aaron Nola on the mound here tonight. Just a special scene here as the two teams just walked out of the cornfields and have made their way up to stand along the third base line and the first base line. Kind of a cool sight as we get ready and closer to the first pitch. The Phillies are looking to put an end to their two-game skid, and Aaron Nola on the mound, and despite all the hoopla surrounding this one game, Nola trying to take it all in stride.
Well, Aaron, today is a little bit of a special day. You're going to be on the mound in a place that you've never pitched before, but I know you've seen it before. How excited are you to pitch in the Field of Dream game?
Yeah, it's exciting. I've never been to Iowa before, so obviously being able to see the movie when I was younger and being able to play over there in the cornfields is going to be really cool.
You know, I was thinking back to the trip to London. I know you didn't pitch in London, and you didn't pitch in the Little League Classic either, I don't believe. But these one-off games for Major League Baseball, they're special, but they take some, challenging travel situations and all of that. Do you prepare differently for a game like this?
Not really. Obviously, just flying in on the same day is different because we don't usually do that during the season, but just the same routine as I usually do. I'll get to the field usually the same time as I do it every other start. So all that stuff stays the same. And at the end of the day, getting on the mound and pitching against a big league team, it's the same no matter where it's at.
Do you look forward to these one-off games, whether you're playing in them or not participating in them?
I think beforehand it's cool, and after the fact it's cool just to say that I pitched in Iowa, or as we talked about London, I didn't pitch in London, but to say you pitched at a different place other than a major league stadium that you maybe pitched in before or been to is cool. But in the moment, just another game trying to win it, because it still matters is a game. So for myself, just remembering that it's still part of the season and it's a game, a part of the season that we need to win.
The movie, you haven't seen it in quite some time, I guess, but do you remember anything about it? Do you remember liking the movie?
I remember liking the movie. I don't remember much about it because back when I watched movies all the time and watched all those baseball movies, I usually watched The Sandlot, Rookie of the Year, and The Rookie the most.
Okay.
But that movie, of course, remembering the cornfields and then playing in the cornfields at night under the lights, and him building it was probably the most memorable part of the movie for me, I guess.
And just how do you feel? I mean, as you go into this next start, you've been pitching well of late. I know the team hasn't scored a whole lot of runs while you've been on the mound, but that's out of your control. But how do you feel?
I feel good. My body feels good, and arm feels good. I'm healthy, and my arsenal feels good right now. And I've had some games I throw a little too many pitches, but need to keep getting ahead and winning counts. But overall, my stuff feels good, and trying to keep the team in it as long as possible, and trying to limit the damage. I've given up obviously a lot of home runs and a lot of solo home runs, but limit those to solos if I do give them up. Just keep them at that, but just try to keep the ball in the ballpark and be on the attack mode at all times.
Well, I know it's a game that the team needs and the team wants to win, but also go out there and enjoy it. It'll be a pretty cool experience as well.
Yeah, it'll be pretty cool.
Aaron Nola, our guest, thanks so much, and good luck tonight.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was Aaron Nola joining me before tonight's game. He'll be on the mound. Right now on the field, both teams lined up along the baselines, and 26 Major League Baseball Hall of Famers just came out of the corn in right field and have taken their place on the infield in an arc. 26 Hall of Famers on the field right now. Amazing. We'll take a quick break. We've got more to come. Stay with us on the Phillies Radio Network.
Is this heaven? No. It's Iowa.
Yes, it is indeed Iowa. We come to the Field of Dreams to play Major League Baseball. Tonight, the Phillies and the Minnesota Twins opening up a 3-game series. And Don Mattingly, this is a special occasion for Major League Baseball. What's been the sense as you watch your club go about their business here today? I know there's a lot going on in a very compressed amount of time. Do they seem excited about this opportunity?
I do. I think I've felt good energy, actually, from the guys. I think these games are kind of fun for guys. It breaks up the monotony just a little bit. I don't know if it's a season changer momentum-wise or anything like that, but I do think it is a game that guys like being, doing something a little different every once in a while.
You guys got to do something a little different. When you got here, you had a little bit of time. You went over. The movie site is just beyond the right field wall, and you got a chance yourself to roll around over there. What'd you think?
No, it was cool to see it. This whole experience coming in here, it really reminds me of my childhood. Obviously I'm from Indiana. My brother played AA baseball, which is basically men's adult Sunday hardball, right? And they were out of college, and so it was players like that, good players. And we would go down this old dirt road, and all of a sudden there's a field, and it was corn all around us. And it reminds me of this. And so it's been kind of cool.
And you have two of your sons here. Obviously, Preston is here as the general manager of the club, but your young son, Louis, is here. Did you get a chance to have a catch with him out there?
We did. Not on the actual movie set, but we had a catch here on the field, which was kind of nice. His dream is to catch a ball during BP in every field in the country, right? So I don't know what it's going to be like today. But it is good. It's good that he's here. He's actually missing his first day of school. We felt like it was a special occasion, something that if you get an opportunity to do it, you should try to do it.
All right, so all that said, it's a unique experience, all of that, but it counts just as much as all the other 161 games you play this year, and I know you're looking for a turnaround from your ball club.
Yeah, no doubt. Yesterday's game was really flat. And we kind of call it within the locker room, it was a clunker. It just didn't come out good, a little bit like maybe Wheel's game in Miami, or he had a clunker there. We had a whole team clunker, it felt like yesterday. We can't afford them. You got to push through it, and whatever the circumstances are. And like you said, this game matters, and that's where guys are good at compartmentalizing. They're going to come here, they're going to see it, they're going to enjoy it, but they're also going to know that this game is part of, has a possibility of changing the standings. And we both talk about it. When you get down to that last week of the season, this thing's probably coming down to one or two teams, a tiebreaker. So every game's going to count.
Every game's got to count, and tonight's game will be played by slightly different rules. There's no ABS tonight, and I guess we might see somebody tap their head out of habit now, but obviously it does create a little bit different dynamic for this evening's game.
It is a little different. It's a little bit like both teams challenging twice in the first, and they lose them all, and then we're going to play baseball. So definitely that's the only rule change is no ABS. And it is a little different because, like you said, one of those calls could change a game. It could change it for us. It could change it against us. So, we're all under the same rule tonight.
A lot of people have speculated throughout the course of the year that maybe the introduction of ABS has had some negative effect on Aaron Nola. He's a guy that does work the corners and stuff like that. Could this maybe have a positive impact for him? Maybe he can get some calls that are, who knows, maybe just off the plate, that kind of thing.
Well, I think it has hurt him. It's made him change. It's made him get on the plate a little bit more. Hitters are adjusting to this system. They know in and out, and they're pretty good about knowing a strike from a ball. But with that, I think the umpires are getting pretty good too now, and they're still going to get graded today. So I don't think they're just going to be calling everything. Anything close is not going to be a strike. I'm sure they'll miss some, get most of them right, but it's definitely a different dynamic.
All right, and real quick, I don't know how much time you've gotten over the course of the afternoon, as it's been, as we said, pretty compressed. But have you dug in on the Twins, and what strikes you about them?
Oh, definitely dug in on the Twins. You can't have a game that counts and not get ready for it. But did a lot of work over the last couple of days in St. Louis. Had some time this morning to do it. So yeah, they're a club that I feel like I know decently well from being in the American League last year. They're a team that tries to get after the fastball. They're a power team. They run some, they don't run a lot, they don't bunt a lot. It's just a team that comes and just, kind of gets in the middle of the ring with you, and we're going to slug it out.
All right, sounds good. Well, enjoy the evening. I know there's a lot going on. Appreciate your time.
All right, thanks.
Don Mattingly joining us here on the show. We'll take time out. Have more for you coming up right after this.
We're back here on Phillies on Deck. Back here in Iowa, your injury report was brought to you by NovaCare Rehabilitation, the power of physical therapy. We're just a few minutes away from baseball, so we say thanks to Mike Tuberosa, engineering in the booth, and Dan Wilson back at our studios. Scott and Kevin standing by with the call of tonight's game from the Field of Dreams. It's the Phillies and the Twins next on the Phillies Radio Network.
From the Northeast PA Jeep Dealer Studio, 94.1 Wilkes-Barre, 102.7 Scranton, and 6:30 a.m. all over Northeast PA. Sports Radio WEJL. Welcome to Philadelphia Phillies baseball on Sports Radio WEJL, 94.1 Wilkes-Barre, 102.7 Scranton, and 6:30 a.m. all over Northeast PA. Stream live at sportsradio.wejl.com. We're bringing you every pitch, every play, and every moment of the season right here as part of the Phillies Radio Network. Stay tuned as we bring you live coverage straight from the ballpark. Presenting sponsors for today's coverage of the Philadelphia Phillies are Citizens, official bank of the Phillies, Nemours Children's Health, the official children's hospital of the Philadelphia Phillies, Hatfield, the official port provider of the Philadelphia Phillies, Philadelphia area Chevy dealers. Visit Chevrolet.com. PGW, fueling the future. James Harding. Hardy Siding is America's #1 brand of siding. Temple Health and Fox Chase Cancer Center, official partners of the Phillies. Yingling, we brew beer for everyone's taste. Philadelphia Insurance Companies, leader in nonprofit insurance and proud sponsor of the Runs for Charities program. SeatGeek, the official ticket marketplace of the Philadelphia Phillies. NovaCare Rehabilitation, experience the power of physical therapy. The Score Bet, proud partner of the Phillies. Xfinity, get reliable Wi-Fi at one price for the next 5 years and same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity, imagine that. Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. SEPTA brings us all together. Independence Blue Cross, the #1 health insurer in the region. Learn more at IBX.com. This is Phillies baseball on Sports Radio WEJL, part of the Phillies Radio Network.
Fransky. From a cornfield in Dyersville, Iowa. Tonight, the Philadelphia Phillies continue their road trip when they take on the Minnesota Twins in the third ever installment of MLB's Field of Dreams game. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Field of Dreams. I'm Scott Fransky alongside Kevin Stocker. Mike Tuberose is our engineer in the booth. You've heard all the cliches. Is this heaven? No, it's Iowa, and it really is. If you build it, people will come, and they certainly did. Maybe you even took some time out to watch the movie once again. Maybe you only had time to watch James Earl Jones and his iconic monologue. And for reasons you can't even fathom, it hits as true with you today as it did in 1989. Well, tonight the Phillies and the Twins come back to the cornfields of Iowa to play one game, and on an evening that will feature nostalgia so thick, you kind of have to brush it away from your face. But perhaps it's not in your nature to be taken in by all the Hollywood-fueled romanticism. At the end of the day, this one game matters. Two teams playing for real stakes, both currently on the outside looking in at October. And in the last 5 years, the final playoff spot in each league came down to one game on a tiebreaker 8 times. So sure, there's all the romanticism and the mysticism of the movie and of the sport itself that'll be on display tonight, but there's also the pressure for a reeling Phillies team that has struggled after the All-Star break and watched their 4-game playoff cushion disappear. Tonight, they're coming to Iowa to try to get back on track. So, is it heaven? Well, I guess we'll find out. It's game number 124, and we'll have the lineups and the first pitch for you coming up next. Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Xfinity. Get reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity. Imagine that. First for the visitors tonight, the Philadelphia Phillies. Kyle Schwarber will lead off. He is the designated hitter. Batting second, the shortstop, Trey Turner. Bryce Harper plays right field. He'll bat third. And batting in the cleanup spot at second base, it's Luis Ariz. Bryson Stott will hit fifth. He plays third base. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Alec Bohm. Brandon Marshall hits seventh and play left field. Batting eighth and doing the catching is J.T. Realmuto. And Justin Crawford, the center fielder, will bat ninth. So again, for the Phillies, it's Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Ariz, Stott, Bohm, Marsh, Realmuto, and Crawford. On the mound tonight for the Phillies, it'll be the longest tenured member of the organization, and that is Aaron Nola, making his 25th start of the season. Now the lineup for the Minnesota Twins and manager Derek Shelton. It'll be Trevor Larnach leading it off. He's the left fielder. Batting second, back from the injured list, the center fielder Byron Buxton. Ryan Jeffers doing the catching. He'll bat third, and batting cleanup, the designated hitter, is Josh Bell. Royce Lewis at first base will bat fifth. Batting sixth, the one-time Philly. At second base, it'll be Cody Clemens. Luke Keeschel in right field, he bats seventh. Batting eighth at third base, it's Brooks Lee, and Kalen Culpepper, the shortstop, will bat ninth for Minnesota. So again, it's Larnach, Buxton, Jeffers, Bell, Lewis, Clemens, Keeschel, Lee, and Culpepper. And on the mound tonight for the Twins is 25-year-old right-hander Taj Bradley, who makes his 24th start of the season. Welcome to the corn, Kevin Stocker.
Oh, man, I tell you, I'm from the Pacific Northwest. Lots of corn up there, baby, but it's fun to see. Let's talk about Taj Bradley real quick. This is SEPTA starting pitcher scouting report, 9-4. He's been pitching up and down on the year. It's been pretty good as of late, but it kind of comes and goes. Now, he's got 4 deliveries, but really it's about 3 of them. The four-seamer at 46%, cutter, and a splitter. He's pretty aggressive with these 3 pitches. He also is what I would call a darter. He darts these babies. I'm not kidding. Fastball 97 and 99, very hard. He's got a cutter that's very hard, and guess what? The splitter is hard as well. But they can be very volatile, come and go, as has his season, very susceptible to walks. So we'll see how that goes today. This is brought to you by SEPTA. SEPTA brings us all together.
The Phillies arrived from a morning charter flight from St. Louis. They landed in Dubuque, Iowa, and they drove about 40 minutes by bus here to Dyersville, Iowa. The movie site and the old field that was used in the movie is just a stone's throw away, way beyond the right field stands. But the Phillies got a chance to go over there, see the movie site, play catch on the field, walk through the corn stalks, and make their way to this brand new facility, which was built over the past winter. And the Major League Baseball at Field of Dreams games returns for the 3rd time. And, of course, the Phillies and Twins, you've probably read about it, seen the shots on social media, but different uniforms tonight. It's a close, intimate setting of about 8,000 fans here tonight. That's the total capacity. Out beyond the outfield wall, nothing but cornfields minus the scoreboards. And it is quite a setting here in the rolling hills of Northeast Iowa. Kyle Schwarber ready to stand in. Our umpires tonight, Bruce Dreckman behind home plate. A lot of focus on Dreckman with no ABS in play for this ball game. We're ready to go. And Taj Bradley with his first pitch is on the way, and it's very high for ball 1. And just like everywhere else in the world, they start right on time in Iowa at 6:33.
Nailed it. Just nailed it.
1 ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch, and that is taken, and it's inside for a ball. This is the first time ever for the Phillies to play in the state of Iowa, which makes the 22nd different state for the Phillies to have played at least 1 game in their club's long, long history. The 2-0 to Schwarber. Swung on, hit deep, headed for the corn, and that ball is gone! Leadoff home run for Kyle Schwarber to electrify the crowd here in Dyersville. 1-0 Phillies. Home run number 36 on the season for Schwarber. He said this week he was excited to see all the corn. And that baseball getting an up-close look.
He could substitute that, excited to deliver to the corn. Spectacular.
Here's Trey Turner, and he takes down low ball 1. Home run 36, RBI number 70. Bradley delivers in the pitch. That is up high. And the Phillies, minus, as we talked about in the open, all of the pomp and circumstance and the nostalgia and all the movie clips they keep showing, and the pitch is in for a called strike. All the Hall of Famers, 26 of them introduced on the field with both clubs before the game. This is a game that matters a whole lot to the Phillies. The pitch, Turner takes up high, not just in the overall standings, but just in the sense of getting things turned around and showing some energy once again.
Well, in this case, everybody gets to go kind of back down to AAA field. All right, work on it.
3-1, and Turner swings and pops it up on the infield. Clemens coming in from second, calling for it. He's to the right of the mound, and he makes the catch for out number 1.
Well, let me hit the keys to the game real quick. The first thing for me is enjoy every moment of this. Soak it in. Enjoy the fans. That will certainly make everybody a little happier. And then in regards to Taj, make him throw strikes. The offense right now only 1 run, well now 2 over the last couple of games. You got to be selective off of him. This is brought to you by James Hardy. Hardy Siding is America's #1 brand of siding.
Here's Bryce Harper, and the pitch is a breaking ball that misses outside. Harper, no stranger to these kinds of occasions. He's got corn-colored cleats. He's got a gold arm sleeve. Looks like an ear of corn on his right arm. And he takes a strike from Bradley. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Big scoreboard. That's a good 50 feet beyond the outfield wall, out in the corn and left. The 1-1 pitch is down low. The hitter's backdrop is a big monolithic barn-shaped basically board out there. They have some cameras built in, a camera deck behind that outfield wall. The 2-1 pitch is up high. Another hand-operated scoreboard out in right field. Again, a good 30 or 40 feet beyond the outfield wall, built right into the cornfield. It's even got a clock, an old-fashioned clock. The pitch is up high. And Harper draws a walk. He's been doing a lot of that lately. The scoreboard is rather large, that hand-operated scoreboard. There's a big ladder for the guys to walk up on that ladder and hang the number each half inning. They've got like a deck built on the front of the scoreboard where 3 gentlemen in, shall we say, old-timey clothing.
Old-timey? Old-timey.
Here is Luis Arise, and he takes a called strike. Arise went to his helmet. I think he wanted to challenge, and he doesn't realize there's no ABS. And he has a big grin on his face, and he realizes he can't challenge. And he kind of makes a nod back to Dreckman, says, sorry about that. 0-1 the pitch. Bradley delivers, and it's fouled over on the first base side. That's where the Phillies are camped out, on the first base side. It didn't take long, only 4 hitters in for somebody to tap their helmet. 1-0 Phillies on a leadoff homer by Kyle Schwarber. Bradley ready, the pitch. Swung on, line to center field. That'll be down for a base hit. Harper turns second. He's heading for third, and he'll be there standing up. And Luis Arise, the one-time Twin, it's a base hit. And that'll put men on the corners, and it'll bring up Bryson Stott. And Don Mattingly now comes running out. He's talking with Bruce Dreckman about something.
Please tell me that he knew there was no ABS. Sure he did.
We normally have some different tools that we can track pitches and see those ABS possible challenges in the making, but those are all shut off for tonight.
At least they still have all the walk-up music, right?
Yeah, they do. Infield is in for the Twins. Already down 1-0. The pitch. Stott swings and lifts it towards left center field, slicing away from Buxton in the gap. It'll fall for a hit. Arise with a late break gets into second base. In to score is Harper, and Bryson Stott continues his red-hot hitting. He's got an RBI single, and it's a 2-0 start for the Phils.
What is really fun already for me is just the sound of everything. The crowd is very intimate but loud, and the balls off the bat sound kind of like a minor league, high-end type of summer type play. I just love that feeling of intimacy here. Now that ball sliced away from Bucks. He had no chance.
Our broadcast perch is lower than anywhere we've been since Williamsport, and probably as close to the plate than anywhere but Williamsport. So we are right on top of things here. Here's Alec Boehm, who stands in from the right side. A look at second. The pitch is a breaking ball that's in for a strike. Bradley 9-4, going for win number 10 for the resurgent Twins. The pitch. It's up high. Alec, who's been up and down to the lineup. He was hitting 8 the last couple of starts that he made, back up to the 6th spot in the order. 1-1 the count. Bradley delivers, and the pitch is hit in the air to right field. Coming in, Keishall. He will get there, and he makes the catch. Arise started to tag, but he'll hold there at second base. That one kind of sliced off the handle a little bit. Not much carry to it. The wind, there are 2 flags out beyond the right field fence, almost tucked away in the right field corner, but they're blowing in. Schwarber hit it into that breeze. Here's Brandon Marsh. And the pitch swung on, fouled away.
One thing I do like about the cornfields here, and I'm sure you've noticed it, I'm sure as well, but the height of the corn right now, it's growing very aggressively. They're going to get ready to harvest in a month or so, but the wind and the breeze makes that stuff blow in the wind. It's so cool.
0-1 the count to Marsh. Here's the pitch, and he takes as that one bounces well out in front of the plate. Yeah, it was definitely as high as your eye by the 4th of July, right?
Yeah. I guess in the movie, when they filmed it, there were times they had to put a Costner up on a board so that the corn was so tall, it grew so fast.
1-1 the count to Marsh. The pitch, and that's taken. It's a little bit wide. Fastball. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Bradley with the blue socks pulled up above the calf, pant legs down just below the knees. These uniforms are different. The Twins are wearing their original home white uniforms with blue pinstripes. Here's the pitch, and it's all the way to the backstop, and nearly a pickle there as the runners were starting to break, but a rise stopped, and Bryson Stott was almost hung out to dry as the ball bounced off the backstop padding and came right back to the catcher, Ryan Jeffers.
I said,
I don't think he got a glove on it at all.
Keep in mind, he throws darts, and like I said, very volatile.
3-1 to Marsh. And Bradley's pitch, swing and a miss. And so the count will go full. Brandon comes into the game, 273 hitter with 16 homers. Bradley set at the letters. And the payoff pitch. It's high, ball 4. Second walk of the inning. And now JT Realmuto, the 8th batter of the inning, will come to the plate here in the first inning. And Pete Mackey, the pitching coach, is going to come out to have a word with Taj Bradley. Phillies uniforms are gray unis. They're trimmed out in red and blue. Red numerals on the back that have blue piping around the numbers. Phillies in a cursive script across the chest. Takes you back to the 1939 to 1941 Road Grays, a replica of those. Blue cap with a block red letter P on the front. Batting helmet's the same.
Helmets are my favorite part, Scott.
Yeah?
I got down there today and got a close-up picture. It's like a matte finish on them as well. Just has the P on there. It's really slick.
Well, a lot of worry about the weather over the last few days, but it couldn't be nicer right now. 72 degrees and breezy. And the bases are loaded for JT, and he takes a first pitch strike. It's 0-1. Realmuto struggling here in the month of August. He's hitting 172 in his last 7 games. And his average at 220 overall. Already 2 on the board. Looking for more are the Phillies. The pitch. Swung on, hit down the right field line out of play.
Did you make it into one of the stores to look at all the merch?
I did.
Yeah.
The store, the trailer. I even
the
sent
corn.
The corn. I even sent Ben Davis some pictures of the John Deeres they had on display because I knew he would be jealous.
Oh boy.
Nothing in 2 the count on Realmuto. And Bradley's pitch on the way. It's down low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The inning started with a home run by Schwarber after Turner popped out. Harper walked. Arise a single. Stott drove Harper home with a single of his own. Bohm flied out to right, and Marsh has walked. The pitch. Swung on, fouled back. That pitch up and probably out of the zone. Quite a fair amount of foul ground in front of both dugouts and behind home plate. It narrows a bit as you go down the lines. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Up and in. Right at his front shoulder. He spun out of the way of it.
Bradley, he is a typical guy that you would call effectively wild. So effectively, part of the time, not effectively the other time. That's why he's up and down with this record and the way that he pitches.
32nd pitch of the inning. Here it comes. And it's swung on, lifted to right. Keyshaw drifting over towards the line, still drifting, and he's there. He makes the catch in fair territory, and that'll end the top of the first. But a good start for the Phillies here in Iowa. 2 runs on 3 hits, including Kyle Schwarber's 36th of the year. We'll go to the bottom of the first. It's the Phillies 2 and the Twins coming up.
SEPTA starting scouting report on Aaron Nola, 3-9, 5.47 ERA. He honestly has been pitching very well as of late. 5 pitches, the knuckle curveball, best in the game, and that's his best pitch. As a 4-seamer, a sinker, changeup, and cutter, really works the edges hard. Changeup, he's been throwing that more. It's been really good. And I think he's been trying to work down in the zone more than he has in the past. Now, it'd be really nice, Scott, if he could get some run support, because he just has not gotten a lot of run support this year. This is brought to you by SEPTA. SEPTA brings us all together.
Well, he's got 2 to start with before he even takes the mound. 2-0 Phillies. And Nola takes the hill to make his 25th start of the season for the Phillies, facing Trevor Larnach, left fielder, left-hand hitter, and the pitch is in there for a called strike. And it will certainly be interesting to see whether maybe it's not trackable because the StatCast and the ABS is not in play here tonight, but whether he might benefit and pitch pretty well without ABS. Here's the 0-1, and that one is outside.
So much of that depends on your umpire as well. I mean, if Bruce Dreckman has really tightened things up because of it, that wouldn't help him, of course.
Here's the windup, the 1-1 to Larnach. It's swung on and line to right. That's a base hit. And that is a leadoff single for the Twins. Bruce Dreckman, who is an Iowa native. He was born in Lamars, Iowa, resides in Marcus, and so he's umpiring a big league game here in his home state.
So wait a minute. We had a guy at the Cardinals from Lamars, and now you're telling me the umpire here is from Lamars?
Lamars, yes. Here is Byron Buxton just off the IL today, and the pitch to Buxton is in for a strike. Each team was able to add an extra position player for this game. Not a pitcher, but an extra position player. And the Twins' 27th man for today's game is Byron Buxton. Playing in his first game since the 28th of July. Pitch is a curve, and it just missed. And they wanted to appeal at first. There was no swing, says Alex Tosi down there at first base. One and one the count to Buxton. The pitch, breaking ball, and he popped him up. And JT near the plate waiting on it in foul territory. He'll make the catch. And there is out number 1. Buxton, who is their home run leader with 25 of them on the season. And an all-star this season. They've missed him. And happy to get him back for the stretch run and hoping he can stay healthy. Ryan Jeffers, the catcher, will bat now with 1 on, 1 out. Phillies at double play depth. Bohm on the bag at first base. The pitch is taken, and it's down and away, ball 1. Luis Ariz, second baseman. He plays up the middle. So there's a big hole on the right side. Trey Turner straight away at shortstop. Bryson Stott back at third base. Nola stretches and delivers. And the pitch is in for a strike. In the outfield, it's Marsh in left, Crawford in center. Harper is in right. One ball, one strike. And the pitch. Swing and a ground ball hit weakly to third. Going to be a tough play. Bare hand pickup, no throw by Stott. And a swinging bunt for Jeffers turns into a base hit. That'll put 2 aboard for Josh Bell here in the first. Bell, who has seen Aaron Nola a lot over the years, hitting just 185 against him. But Bell is a big turnaround guy this year for the Twins. Got off to a terrible start.
He's been around. They really, really like him in the clubhouse. Now, I will be honest with you, over the last 3 years, he's been with 3 different teams, maybe 4. And it's always kind of the same thing. He's a really good guy in the clubhouse.
Pitch is a breaking ball down low. Starts him with a curveball. 1-0 the count. A little bit of sun. It's been a rainy day earlier, and it's dried out. The clouds are starting to part a little bit. Nola ready. And the 1-0 pitch to Bell. Swinging a ground ball foul over on the first base side. And as such, as the sun begins to set, it appears that over at first and second and in right field, if the sun gets any more penetrating, it might be a little bit hazardous on the eyes for those guys on the right side of the diamond. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nola ready. Here's the pitch. Bell swings and misses. Curveball.
Good knuckle curveball. Batting average against that pitch for Aaron this year is 193. It's been one really good, consistent pitch that he's had for most of the year.
Josh Bell, now 33 years of age. The 1-2 on the way. And it's a curveball again that misses down and in. Tough first 2 months, but since June the 1st, he's been very good for them. A .287 hitter with an .858 OPS. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nola ready. And the pitch to Bell. Swing and a tap foul behind the plate. Stayed alive. Those Twins unis, we mentioned the pinstripe. Says Twins across the front. In blue cursive lettering, trimmed out in red, blue caps with a TC logo for the Twin Cities. The pitch, and it's down low, off speed, and he wouldn't offer at it. So the count is now full with 1 out and 2 already on as Nola rubs up the baseball. Nola comes set, checks second. And his 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Curveball did the trick, and Bell goes down on strikes. Aaron, of course, in his last start, he struck out 8 Toronto Blue Jays in 5 innings, and along the way recorded his 2,000th career strikeout, becoming the 94th player in Major League history to do that. So 2 gone, and Royce Lewis, the batter, now playing first base these days for the Twins. First pitch to him misses well outside. And it's 1 ball and no strikes.
I think I saw Scott Jacob deGrom tonight is trying to get into that same 2,000 strikeout club.
Here's the 1-0. And a curveball. That misses outside. And it's quickly 2-0 on Lewis. 27-year-old, again, in and out of the lineup a lot. Today playing in his 88th game of this season. Batting .245 with 13 home runs. Here's the 2-0. And a swing and a liner right to the shortstop, who makes the catch. Trey Turner gloves it shoulder high. And that'll do it for the Twins. No runs, couple of hits, 2 left by Minnesota. We'll go to the second. It's 2-0 Phillies.
Well, on the mound today, the Brewers' Shane Drowan 6-4 versus the Dodgers' Roki Sasaki 5-5 on the West Coast. Both teams, well, they're just coming off of sweeps. The Dodgers took 3 from the Royals. They won all 3, but the Brewers lost all 3 versus the Padres. This is brought to you by Meineke. Brakes, tires, batteries, and complete auto care by trusted experts at your locally owned and operated Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
Justin Crawford leading off for the Phils here in the second. It's 2-0 Phillies, and Crawford looks at a strike from Taj Bradley. We needed 32 pitches to get through the first inning alone. Here's the windup by Bradley and the pitch. Crawford swings and fouls it out of play to the left side. Of course, we come to the Field of Dreams in Iowa, a movie that was based centrally around Kevin Costner's character and his relationship with his father and the game of baseball. Justin, a baseball kid with a baseball dad, and a swing and a foul. Tip hung on to by the catcher Jeffers, and there is out number 1. Just had a shot on the Netflix telecast of Don Mattingly out on the field pregame today, having a catch with his son Louie, who skipped the first day of school to be here today.
Knew I liked that kid.
The pitch. Breaking ball up high to Schwarber, who started the scoring with a home run his first time up. It was his 47th career leadoff home run. The wind and the pitch, and that is in for a strike. Just knew it'd be Schwarber, right? Doing something cool. Here's a swing and a high fly ball. Deep right center field. Buxton, though, has room. He'll make the catch. And there's out number 2.
Well, as they were getting ready to do the anthem prior to the game, I didn't realize, obviously a big presentation, but each team had a player come out and kind of speak about the Field of Dreams. It was planned, and Byron Buxton for the Twins, and Kyle Schwarber, of course, elected by his team.
Here's the pitch, and Turner fouls it back into the screen behind the plate.
Did you play any catch over there?
0-1. I did. My wife is here. She made the trip out this morning, and we had a catch out on the Field of Dreams movie site. 0-1 pitch. And it's going to miss outside to Turner, who popped out his first time up. It's 2-0 here in the top of the second in Iowa. Bradley with a wind and the 1-1 breaking ball. Backs Trey out of the box. He goes spinning out of the way of that one.
I didn't realize when we were over there that they had, behind the original backstop, they have a bench just full of baseball gloves for anybody to use.
The pitch is up high.
Good take.
3-1 now.
We got over there and we were walking around, and within maybe a half an hour, the field was flooded with people playing catch. I didn't know I was going to get back, man.
3-1, and that's up high, ball 4, and already the third walk in this one issued by Bradley.
Yeah, there were baseballs flying everywhere, and not a lot of organization on which way people were standing, so it was just at some point.
That was really breaking my wife's OCD down. She was.
Oh, is that right?
She wanted everybody on the line.
Was she organizing everybody?
She's run many a Little League practice. She needed them on the line. Here's Harper, and he takes a breaking ball down low. 1-0 the count. 2-0 here. Harper walked his first time up. Harper's got a special bat for the occasion, it would appear. Bradley ready. 1-0. And that is in there for a called strike. A lot of folks have seen on social media over the last week or so the cleats being worn by Bryson Stott. Some of the Phillies' late legends walking out of the corn stalks. Here's the 1-1, and Harper takes down low. And Harper, no stranger to doing big things in some of these showcase events. Everybody remembers his home run in London and his soccer-style celebration.
Is he going to shuck like a shuck of corn when he...
2-1, the pitch. And it's a breaking ball up high. I hope we get the chance to find out what he has planned.
And that bat is a big corn cob. That's on half of it.
It's a 3-1 count to Harper, who walked his first time up. Turner leads. Bradley comes set. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled back. Not a kind of the regular approach, I'd say, for batting practice today. Not everybody was out taking BP for the Phillies. A lot of the guys who tend to do their routine inside kept it indoors. Count is full. They'll back up and play behind Turner at first. He'll be off with the pitch. Here it comes. And it's taken for a called third strike on the inside corner. Harper down on strikes, a walk and nothing more. One left by the Phillies. We'll go to the bottom of the second. It's 2-0 Phils.
Well, don't miss the fun. After the final out, fans 55 and over are invited to participate in Independence Blue Cross Senior Stroll the Bases after the Phils host the Astros on Thursday, September 10th at 1:05 p.m. Visit Phillies.com to secure your seats today.
Of course, the Fanatic is here on top of the dugout, tossing T-shirts to the crowd right now. Fanatic's got the 1939 throwback uni as well. TC, the Twins mascot, on the third base dugout as well. In between innings, Aaron Nola returns to work. And he'll face Cody Clemens, the former Phillies, having a big year for the Twins, a swing and a miss. Clemens, a .230 hitter, but with 20 home runs, a new career high for him. He has struggled a bit lately over the last month. Here's the pitch. And that one is up high, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Hitting .173 over the last 25 games. But among those hits is one of the signature moments of his young career. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Clemens. Swung on, fouled away. And that is an ultimate grand slam, they called it. His team down by 3. He hit a walk-off grand slam to win it for the Twins. One ball and 2 strikes. Nola shakes a sign and now has the one he wants. Nods yes. Here's the windup and the pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Got him.
Pitch is working tonight. He's keeping that ball down just below the strike zone. So as a hitter, you just think it's not going to drop off the table like that. You go for it. It just disappears.
That'll bring up Luke Keishel. 23-year-old from California, .263 hitter with 6 homers. 2-0 Phillies in the second, and the pitch is a strike called. Well, Aaron Nola facing the Twins for the 4th time, and you remember how bad of a year Nola had last season. But perhaps his best effort came against the Twins late in the season. Here's the windup. And the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball that misses down and away. 8 innings, 1 earned run, 2 hits, no walks, and 9 strikeouts. If he had a better start, I don't remember it.
Well, I don't.
1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the windup. And Nola's pitch. Swung on, hit high in the air, deep left field. Marsh is going back. He's at the wall, and he is out of room. It's gone. And that is the 30th home run allowed by Aaron Nola this season. It just cleared that 7-foot-high wall and straightaway left. The Twins are on the board. It's 2-1.
He talked about it. 30 home runs given up. 2023, he gave up 32, but that was a full season. In 24, he gave up 30, which he just did right there. And this year's been a little bit of an issue, but at least it was a solo shot.
That brings up Brooks Lee. Switch hitter from the left side against Nola. Takes a curveball. That's over for strike 1. 7th homer of the year for Keishel. The outfield wall is a chain link fence, the 0-1 pitch, and that is down low. In the extreme corners, there is a padded wall that is painted to look like whitewashed barn boards. There's the 1-1, and it's a breaking ball. That's down low.
I think it's a wrap on the, rather than painted. The bottom of it in many places is starting to peel off. Does that make sense? That barn-looking.
So there's no padding?
It's padding, but there's a wrap over the top of it, like a
2-1 pitch.
Like if you were to wrap your car, like, you know what I mean? Like,
right. Well, the wrap is at the top of the entire outfield wall, all the way around. But in the basic bulk of left field and right field, it's a chain link fence, so you can see through and see the corn stalks right up against the backside of the fence. 3-1 pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. And it'll run the count full, 3-2 on Lee, 247 hitter on the year. It's that barn board look in center field where the bullpens are situated beyond the center field wall. And the wall height actually angles up to 12 feet high in dead center field, where it's 400 feet from home plate. 3-2 pitch on the way. And a swing and a ball ripped foul down the first base side. Down the first base line, the low box seats stop just a few feet, really, just a couple of seating sections down past the first base dugout. 3-2 again, and a swing and a ground ball to second. A rise to his left, scoops it, flips it to Bohm, and there's out number 2. And with that, let's pause for station identification here on the Phillies Radio Network.
From the Northeast PA Jeep Dealer Studio, 94.1 Wilkes-Barre, 102.7 Scranton, and 6:30 a.m. all over Northeast PA. Sports Radio WEJL.
With Kevin Stocker, I'm Scott Fransky with you from Dyersville, Iowa tonight. Major League Baseball at the Field of Dreams. Mike Tuberosa has made the trip. He's our engineer here in the booth. And Wilson engineering back in our studios. Kalen Culpepper, the shortstop, the number 9 batter for the Twins, stands in from the right side, and the pitch is a called strike. Even our manager of broadcasting, Rob Brooks, has made the trip, making sure we get on the air here tonight. 0-1 pitch, and that missed outside. And it's required some wires.
I thought you were going to say patience. Sure,
well,
wires.
That too. Not as much for you and I.
Oh, true.
Here's the 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, and it's fouled off. But yeah, there are wires everywhere in this booth.
Right in front of our booth, there's a walkway before this first step, and the fans have decided that is where they want to stand.
And this one gentleman has a decent-sized...
That's Jim Tomei head, dude. That is big. That's a
like
Dave Hollins head.
Dave Hollins head right there. And he's right in the way of home plate for me. The 1-2 pitch is down a little bit low for a ball. He doesn't care.
Nope.
Count is 2-2. No ABS, but the pitch comm is still very much active. Here's the windup and the 2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a foul, third base side.
One of the other things about this ballpark that they just built, what is this, the third game, I think, officially?
They've all been this week.
Yes, all this week is you have to take into account the lights and the height of the light poles and so forth as well. For example, when we were in Williamsport years back, they had to bring in all kinds of special lights and get approval from MLB because those were just not very tall. They would be able to do that with this ballpark. They're very tall.
2-2 again. And a swing and a miss. Got him with a curveball. And that's the third strikeout for Nola. Surrenders the homer to Keishall, but nothing more than that. And we'll head to the third inning tonight. Phillies lead it 2-1.
That'll be the first in line to secure a 2027 season ticket plan by placing a deposit today. Season tickets include many benefits, such as price savings versus single game tickets and the same great seat location for each game. Plan holders also enjoy access to exclusive events and receive a discount at the New Era Phillies team store. Reserve yours today at phillies.com/season deposits.
Ready to start the top half of the third inning. It'll be Luis Arraez leading it off. And the first pitch on the way from Bradley. He's taking all the way. Looks at a ball down low. 1-0 the count. 2-1 here. Phillies in front. Arraez, Stott, and Bohm due up. And Bradley's pitch. Swung on, hit high in the air to right. And that's playable for Keishall, who's coming in and settling under it. He will make the catch. There's one gone. Bradley, who threw 32 pitches in the first inning. Now up over 50 for the night. Kind of weird that Major League Baseball would demand that your extra player is a position player for this game. You'd think they'd want to have an extra pitcher. Here's the pitch to Stott, and that is a called strike on the inside corner.
No, you're 100% right. For so many reasons. And for me, if this game gets out of hand, I don't want to see, for example, Garrett Stubbs pitching.
The pitch, and that's up high.
It is a regular game, so if that was to happen from either side, of course, that's still in play. But yeah, I don't know why they chose to do it the other way.
1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. Stott, a swing and a miss. Bryson Stott sporting those cleats.
Do you know all the players on there? Because I had a picture of it. I can't find it.
Well, I know HK is on there.
Yeah. Dutch is on there.
Whitey's on there. Roy Halladay is on there. 1-2 pitch is down low. And I believe Tug McGraw is the other one.
Robin Roberts is on there as well.
Okay.
And Tug. Yeah, Tugger's on there as well.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Bradley kicks and comes home. The pitch fouled away. Stott, the RBI single his first time up the last 20 games, hitting .344. He's drawing a lot of walks since the All-Star break. He's in the top 3 in on-base percentage in Major League Baseball. Here's the windup, and the 2-2 again. Swung on, grounded foul, first base side. Down both lines in right field and in left field along the lines. There's some grandstands where the main extra seating is. There's a grandstand on the right side. It's a little bit bigger on the left side, and the field boxes go a lot further on the left side. Here's a swing and a tapper out in front of the mound. In to get it is Bradley, and he flips it over to first in time to get Stott. And that's the second out of the inning. And it'll bring up Alec Bohm. But, boy, they just bring the corn right in. Down the first baseline where those field boxes stop, the grandstand is set back, and there's actually a section of corn there that's right up against the field wall on the side. Here's the pitch to Bohm, and he swings and hits a bouncer up the middle. It'll be stopped there by Clemens, and the throw to first is in time. And Cody Clemens with a nice backhand play up the middle robs his old teammate of a hit. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Taj Bradley. We'll go to the bottom of the third. 2-1 Phillies.
Well, don't miss the huddle at Citizens Bank Park on Sunday, August 23rd at 1:35 p.m. when the Phils take on the Cardinals and kids 14 and under. Well, you're going to score a Pico Bryce Harper football jersey. Visit Phillies.com to purchase tickets today.
Aaron Nola heads to the mound for the bottom of the third inning. Top of the order for Minnesota, as Phillies with a 2-1 lead here. Trevor Larnach, who singled but was left stranded. His first time up. Phillies start the day with the same record as that of the Arizona Diamondbacks, as the first pitch is in for a called strike. Diamondbacks at the moment, though, would hold the tiebreaker in a head-to-head meeting with the Phillies because they won 2 out of 3. The Phillies have yet to go to Arizona. Here's the windup and the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball down and in. So technically speaking, the Phillies are, for the first time since June the 3rd, on the outside looking in as far as the playoff race is concerned. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nola winds up and delivers. And the pitch is ripped foul down the first base side into that little section of corn we just talked about that's stacked up in front of the grandstand along the right field line.
I wonder why they did that.
I don't know.
I mean, you could say, well, it's aesthetic, but eventually they're going to cut it down, and then it's going to be ugly. And then, not to mention, we'd have to ask Ben how you get back there to harvest that. Here's
the 1-2 pitch. Curveball. He lays off. 248 hitter. Larnach, Buxton, and Jeffers here in the third inning. Twins haven't fared well against the National League this year, and that's putting it mildly. The pitch is down and in. They're 10 games under 500 against the National League. 2 games under overall.
Who have they fared well against? Within their division, I suppose.
3-2 pitch on the way. And a curveball. He pops him up, and it's on the third base side, but foul and out of play. I'd have to look that one up.
Yeah. I feel like that's my job. I like to just ask the question, Scott. I mean,
as if I know everything.
That's right.
3-2 on the way. And a swing and a line drive center field coming in for it is Crawford, but that'll be a base hit. Wasn't hit all that hard. But he's got himself a 2-for-2 night going so far.
Trevor Larnach is really having a good year this year for the Twins, and he's been around a little bit. Wasn't sure if he was going to be back with the Twins. Wasn't sure if they really wanted him. And here he is hitting at the top of the lineup, and one of the things that's been a lot better for him has been the battle. With 2 strikes, he fouled off a pitch, takes a pitch, extends at bats. He's been much better at that.
Here's Buxton. And the pitch to Buxton. Swung on, hit sharply to third. Stott has it. Feeds second, and there's one. The throw to first is not in time. Looked like the feed from Stott was a little offline. Arise looked a little different there at second base.
It was a little bit up the line, in other words, toward first, and Arise was sitting on the back of the base. That's strictly a result of they haven't worked together very long right now. So from third, you typically just want to get the feed right in the middle of his chest. And I think Bryson was trying to lead him a little bit. That gets to be pretty dangerous when you do that.
So 1 out. Here's Jeffers, who reached on a swinging bunt his first time up. Buxton now at first base. And the pitch. Breaking ball. And it's a little bit low. Twins very good against the Red Sox this season. They've won 5 out of 6 against Boston. 5 out of 7 against Detroit. But they're actually under 500 against the Royals in their division. 1-0 the count. And the pitch. That's a strike over the outside corner. But a win tonight for the Twins and a loss for Texas, who plays later on tonight in Anaheim, would actually put the Twins into playoff position. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nola's pitch. Just missed outside.
I mean, there's still a lot of baseball left, but it's way different than at the beginning of the year when everybody's talking about, oh, there's plenty of season, plenty of time. What happens now is you get into the middle of August, especially into September, and there's a lot of scoreboard watching. So when you dip into playoff spots, it can start to affect mentally other teams that are scoreboard watching.
Throw over to first will chase Buxton back.
And you try hard as a player not to see it, but you can't help it, especially today. In today's world of social media, it's plastered all over the place. We talk about it. You want to start ramping up. Starting middle of August, you start to ramp.
2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on, popped up, foul. This is out of play. Well, the Phillies have really struggled out of the gate since the All-Star break. They're 7-5 so far in August, but of course they went 9-15 in the month of July. All in all, 10-15 since the break. The 2-2 swung on, fouled away again. Two to 1, Phillies in front. We're in the bottom of the third. Nola up over 50 pitches now, 52 of them, 32 strikes, 20 balls. Set again is Nola. And again the 2-2. Swing and a miss, curveball. And another strikeout for Nola. That's number 4 on the night. Brings Josh Bell to the plate with 2 outs and a man at first. Bell struck out his first time up against Nola. And the pitch. It's down low. It's the 11th time in his career he's fanned against Aaron.
I saw a little stat the other day on Aaron because you were talking about the 2,000 strikeouts. He's in that club. He's actually 6th when it comes to strikeout to walk ratio, which is phenomenal.
Here's the 1-0. Swing and a foul.
Talking about his career. So it's at 4.08 strikeouts per walk, right in that area, which ranks 6th. Scherzer was in there. I don't have the whole list in front of me.
One ball, one strike, throw over to first. If you did have a list
I do.
on a piece of paper in front of you, it would probably have a fly sitting on it. There are lots of flies
Well, wait.
in this booth.
Look at how many flies are on the fly stickum here. Oh, none. Sitting here right in front of me, there's not a single fly. They're all over my paperwork.
One ball, one strike in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Chased up high, did Bell. And it goes to 1-2. The Twins radio crew is here as well. They're next door to us, to our right. And they have more flies, but they don't have a big I-beam, steel I-beam, right in between the two of us like we do. Here's a swing and a slow chopper to third, charging Stott. Bare hand pick, throw to first in time. He got him. Great play by Bryson Stott. Charging in from third, fielded it with a bare hand and got it to first in time. No runs on a hit, one left, 3 complete. It's 2-1 Phillies. The RAV4 inning is presented by Toyota. Check out Toyota.com to get your new 2026 RAV4 today. Toyota, let's go Phils. 2-1. Phillies lead it as we go to the 4th inning. And with the play-by-play, here is Kevin Stocker.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah, 2-1. 3 hits now for the Phils, 4 for Minnesota to this point. Leading off here in the top of the 4th inning will be Brandon Marsh, who walked back in the 1st inning. So far on the road trip, 2 for 10. It's been a tough road trip, hitting .273, has 16 home runs. They're going to play him hard pull in the infield. In comes the third baseman, Lee, all the way in on the cut of the grass. Bradley's first pitch, and that's a fastball that's going to run high. Outfield is going to play straight up. Although they don't have the ABS system, at least they were able to get the pitch timer in, so everybody was happy about that. The 1-0 pitch. Checked his swing, and they checked down to third base. He didn't go. Count runs 2-0. JT Realmuto stands on deck. By the way, that's whose helmet I took a picture of, was JT's. 2-0 pitch, that's fouled out of play. Did you notice today, too, at least with the Phillies, the coaching staff are all wearing uniforms with no jackets on or anything. So you get to see, like, Don Mattingly in full uni. And the pitch to Brandon, fouled off again.
Yeah, I think a few of them, certainly the support staff, they have some pullovers, some full red pullovers, but Don is still in, all the coaches are still in full uniform. Must have been a concerted effort to do that.
Yeah. 2-2 to Marsh. Breaking ball misses off the plate. Of course, it didn't used to be like that back in the past when, managers, for example, Don wasn't really a manager back then. There was business managers. They did all the paychecks. 3-2 count, the pitch. Oh, that ball goes to the back screen again, well over the head of Jeffers. And ball 4, Brandon will head on down to first base, his second walk today. We'll bring up JT Realmuto. 4 walks for Bradley on the day. Yeah, managers back in the day were known as captains, so it would be Captain Don Mattingly. Now, part of the issue he was be a player captain, and no one's asking Don to play anymore. Out of a stretch now, Bradley, first pitch to JT, that's low.
But just in case, he's still out on the field every day with his team when they take infield. He's taking throws at first base.
Every day.
Helping work the bucket over at first base.
Yeah. 1-0 count. Marsh, not a big lead at first. And the delivery, swing, fouled straight down. Got a piece of the umpire, but he's fine. Connie Mack, I guess, back in the day, was famous for managing in the dugouts with a suit on. He'd wear a full suit and tie. That was with the Philadelphia A's. I can tell you when Jim Fregosi was my manager, I never saw him out of a pullover.
Yeah.
No, never. 1-1 count. The pitch. And that runs down low. It's a ball. Counts 2-1. Bobby Cox with the Braves. He would wear a uniform, but he always wore cleats. Every game, his entire career, he wore cleats. Bradley's pitch. Swing and a miss. Count goes 2-2.
I'm curious if you see with JT the timing issue and that leg kick issue again. Just seems like all of a sudden he is just way behind everything.
The kick is what seems to always get him into trouble. He's talked about it. Kevin Long has talked about it. He even tried to get rid of it a couple years ago and hated that. 2-2 count. Marsh takes his lead. Double play depth up the middle. Bradley fires. Swing and a miss on a strike away, and that's strike 3 for JT. First out of the inning here in the top of the fourth. Scores 2-1 Phillies. Justin Crawford, the 9-hitter today, will step in. He struck out back in the second inning. They're going to play him pull. The shortstop, Culpepper, way up the middle now. Bradley's first pitch. That's a ground ball toward first, and it flares foul. The outfield against Justin straight up. Couldn't get more straight up against him. Buxton, of course, manning center field. Two-time Gold Glove winner out there. Third baseman way in on the cut. Long set. The 0-1. And that ball is down. Count evens at 1-1. Kyle Schwarber stands on deck. Brandon's not getting much of a lead. I guess he's not going to go. There he goes, and there's a swing and a miss by Crawford. Throw down to second base, and they get him. And they got him by a lot. And I believe that was a hit and run that was put on, and Justin Crawford swung right through it. And Don's going to put his hand up, and they do want to take a look at it.
A little bit of a swim move on the head-first slide, and Phillies are taking a look to see if Brandon Marsh was able to avoid the tag. So they don't have ABS, but they do have the replay review challenge system. And I think he might have avoided
be safe. Again, we've talked about this a lot. Now, Culpepper out there at shortstop takes this throw out in front of the base, and then he literally reaches toward Brandon Marsh. Marsh is so out, but because he reached out down the line, that's when you get into trouble. He was able to do the old swim move and get around that. I think he might be safe.
Well, the fans reacting as if they can see it on the board. It's a little far away, I think, and not all that clear, but they seem to think. And there are plenty of Phillies fans here tonight, that's for sure.
Eyesight works better here in Iowa, Scott.
Yeah. You know, you think about all that goes into putting together a production like this in a one-off type situation. And Phillies come in today. They arrived at 2 o'clock as a team.
After review, the call of the field is overturned. The runner is safe. Philadelphia will retain their challenge.
And one of the many things they have on their checklist to do is they have to totally set up their video room. A lot of the equipment was brought up by truck from St. Louis overnight. It left St. Louis after the game yesterday, and they trucked it here overnight.
So a runner on second now. Justin Crawford's the hitter. There's 1 out. Or excuse me, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle, right at the shortstop Culpepper, who was playing up the middle, and he's going to throw it over to first base. Scoreboard's all kind of messed up, by the way, so there are now 2 outs. And the runner, Marsh, was able to advance to third base. That'll flip the lineup to Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber with his 36th home run. That was in the first inning. Flew out in the second. 2-1 score, top of the fourth. The pitch runs inside for a ball.
With that home run, of course, reclaiming sole possession as the home run leader in baseball.
4 of them, right, coming into today?
At 35, coming into today. Olson, Junior Caminero, and Yordan Alvarez.
The 1-0 misses inside. Now Olson, man, he's having quite a year again, isn't he?
Yeah, he
Back
sure
on
is.
track. First base for the Braves.
Got to think Bradley will be pretty careful here with the man in scoring position and Schwarber at the plate, already behind in the count 2-0.
Marsh, pretty good lead at third. Out of a stretch, the delivery. Oh, this ball's hammered toward right field. It is high. It has a serious chance. Back to the wall is Keishel. He's at the wall, and he jumps. Oh, and he knocked it over. He jumped to catch it. It hit his glove, and the ball dropped over the wall. That's his 37th home run now for Kyle Schwarber. Wow, and the Phils are going to jump up 4-1. I mean, I feel bad for Keishel and great for Schwarber at the same time. Oh, that is tough for the right fielder, and he had a beat on it. Very fortunate for the Phillies.
That wall is just 7 feet high, so a guy of his size can easily jump that high and got the glove on it.
First pitch swinging is Trey Turner, and that's going to drop down into right field inside the cut. Turner's going to go for 2. Here comes the throw on its way. It bounces into shortstop. That's Culpepper, but Turner is safe with a double.
Well, and just think about it. I mean, they don't have ABS, but they do have the video review, and how much of a difference it's made for this inning alone for the Phillies. Otherwise, they'd be out of it with no runs scored. But instead, they've got 2 aboard. They've got Turner now in scoring position, and they've got Harper coming to the plate. Big swing.
How about that? Yeah, it's good to see Turner going the other way and dropping that in there. So Bryce Harper walking the first, struck out in the second. First pitch, swing, and this ball is going to be on the ground, up the middle, through for a base hit. That's going to score Turner. And that'll be another run for the Phils as they're going to go up 5-1. RBI base hit for Bryce Harper here in the top of the 4th inning.
Well, he saw Schwarber pass him and runs batted in. So with that one, he gets it back even again. Both have 72 to match for the team high.
So far here in the top of the 4th, 3 runs across now. The hitter will be Luis Arraez, and his first pitch is in the dirt for a ball. Harper, of course, we've been talking about all these walks that he's been having. On the road trip, he has 7 walks. This time he said, enough of that. I have somebody in scoring position. First pitch swinging for a base hit. 2 outs. Pitch to Arraez. Ooh, that's up and in. Luis goes down on his rear and kind of stands there, takes a deep breath.
That was almost the 3rd one headed to the backstop.
Yeah. 5-1 now. Phillies on top. 3 runs here in the 4th. Arraez singled in the first, flew out in the 3rd, and the pitch, he takes that for a strike. Count goes 2-1. Bradley, not a big lead by Harper. And the pitch, this ball's a rocket toward left field. That's going to drop in front of the left fielder, Larnach. And that's the second base hit today for Luis Arraez. It's good to see him hitting. Came in on the road trip. He was 1 for 13 in today's game, so that's 2 hits there. And that's going to prompt a visit. Is that Pete Mackey coming out to talk to Taj Bradley? Wow, what a turn of events here.
Yeah, second time in 4 innings. Bradley's had to face at least 8 in the inning. It happened in the first, gave up 2 runs. And it's going to happen here in the 4th with Stott set to bat, the 8th man to come up in the inning. And they're scrambling in that Twins bullpen as they're going to get a right-hander up. Looks like Travis Adams will be the first man up to start warming for the Twins.
It was one of the things the Twins did at the deadline is they went out and got some bullpen pieces, and The starters, although they might go 5 innings, because the starting staff, they had a ton of injuries this year, but they went out and picked up some guys to help in that pen for this run.
Well, you got Bradley here, your starter, already at 83 pitches here in the 4th inning.
Yeah. Bryson Stott, the hitter, 2 runners on. Harper's at second, Rise on first. 2 outs, first pitch, and that runs away for a ball.
And again, the clubs have an off day tomorrow, so they can kind of get their bullpen reset a little bit. However, you know, you're midway through this game, your starter is faltering.
Pitch to Stott. It's a breaking ball in there for a strike.
And you think about that extra 27th guy, and Derek Shelton's starting to think, well, it'd be nice if it was a pitcher right now. I wouldn't have to burn through my bullpen.
Right. Counts 1-1, 2 outs, top of the 4th. Bryson Stott, the hitter. Pitch way outside, and this is going to get past Jeffers again. Both runners are going to move up. Harper hard around third base. He scampers back. Both runners move up.
Well, you had the right word to describe him, volatile.
Oh, been like that all season.
He just came off 2 pretty clean innings, and this one he's just absolutely cratered.
And I was looking at his games this year. In 23 starts, only 2 times out of those 23 starts has he had a game with no walks. 2-1 count to Stott. The pitch, and that's a ball inside. Now it's a hitter's count for Bryson. Hard pull in the infield against Stott here. Bucks in center field. He's a little bit pull as well. Here's the 3-1. And Bryson takes that for a strike right down the middle. Count runs full.
Pretty good pitch to hit.
Yeah.
Seemed like. Especially 3-1. Get a fastball.
See if he can get another one here. 2 runners in scoring position. Here's the 3-2. And he hits this ball in the air toward left field. Not deep. Larnach camps under it. He's going to make the catch, but not before the Phils get 3 more runs here, and they're going to add on. The score is now 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. For the bottom of the 4th inning, it's the RAV 4th inning, brought to you by Toyota. Check out Toyota.com and visit your local Tri-State Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go Phils. Yeah, we're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Let's go Phils. Kyle Schwarber has 2 home runs. One was absolutely crushed in the first, right to lead off the game, and then another one off the right fielder's glove to bounce out. Very helpful. Score is 5-1, bottom of the 4th. Aaron Nola runs back out there at 57 pitches. It'll be Royce Lewis to lead things off, a 245 hitter, lined out back in the first inning. He's a right-handed hitter. Aaron Nola's first pitch, and that's a strike on the outer half. I mean, that is on the outside corner right there. That's the pitch. I mean, that's his bread and butter. No ABS today. Phillies are going to play pull in the infield here against Lewis. And the next pitch, he swings at a little breaking ball away, fouls it back, count runs 0-2. Royce Lewis, the hitter here, who's worked on a lot of different things, does something that I haven't seen in a long time when he's hitting. When he stands in there and is from the right side, he's all ready to go. As Aaron comes up in his windup, he actually steps backwards with his right foot, which is the back foot, to start the stride forward. Here's the 0-2, and he swung. Did he go? Yes, he did. And yeah, kind of a check swing, but Dreckman calls him out. It's a strikeout for Aaron. Well done. That's the 5th today for Aaron. Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time when somebody bounces back with their back foot to start the forward stride.
It doesn't look like it would produce great results. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, but he's hitting really well.
I know.
Timing mechanism.
It just doesn't look that way.
Cody Clemens now. His first pitch he takes for a ball. I mean, Jeff Bagwell used to do kind of a back step, but he did it with the front foot. And Aaron here, he's going to go out of his windup to Cody Clemens, and the pitch, that's a breaking ball in there for a strike. Cody struck out back in the 2nd inning. Bottom of the 4th inning here. Aaron Nola. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Clemens. That ball's fouled into the crowd. That's a souvenir for somebody. That's way up there. 1-2 count now, 1 out, bottom of the 4th. Scores 5-1. Phil's on top. 7 hits for the Phillies, 4 hits for the Twins. Nola, the 1-2. And that's a fastball, just missed at the top of the zone. I don't know how you take that. Cody Clemens has purple cleats today, showing off the high stirrups. He's got an elbow guard on that front right elbow. Boy, Aaron lets that clock run all the way down. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball got him and swung right over the top of it. Back-to-back strikeouts for Aaron here in the bottom of the 4th. The 6th for him today. Curveball is working.
It is working, and nice for Aaron to have a little run support. I think it was 1 run scored in the last 20 2/3 with Aaron on the mound. 1 run of support.
That's it?
With him on the mound, yeah. Now, they had scored some runs in those games after he had come out, including his last start.
Luke Keishel, the hitter now. He takes the first pitch for a strike. Keishel hit a home run in his first at-bat in the 2nd, and then kind of gave it back to Schwarber when it went off his glove and over the fence in the top of the 4th. The 0-1. That misses off the plate. Still a little bit of wind blowing here, blowing in from right field. Nola working out of the windup. He kicks and fires and misses badly with a curveball down in the dirt. Yeah, I went into the store to look at some of the stuff today, and it was right when all the people got there, so it was pretty crowded. And right in line, hands full, you couldn't have more stuff, was Kyle Schwarber. He had hats, and he was in his shorts and a T-shirt. 2-1, and that looked like a pretty good pitch, missed low. Count runs 3-1 now.
So much for an old school umpire and no ABS helping out Aaron Nola with that pitch.
No kidding. So it counts 3-1, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Hitter's right-handed hitter Keishel. He's ready to go, hands high. Here's the pitch, breaking ball, and he bounced it. Aaron's not very happy with himself there. First walk today for Aaron.
Well, he never likes walks. He really doesn't like leadoff walks. So this one won't bother him as much if he's able to work around it.
Hitter will be Brooks Lee. Switch hitter. Made third base today for the Twins. First pitch, and he takes that one low.
Everybody's talked about the Phillies sort of reshuffling the deck defensively on their infield. The Twins have kind of done that, but not really on that one move sort of en masse, but slowly but surely over the course of the year.
1-0 pitch. Oh, this ball's hammered. It was a breaking ball that was up. Back goes Harper. He gets back on the track, and the wind blows that thing right back to him. And now I really like the wind coming in from right field. Nice job by Harp, though. He went back to the track, did that like an actual right fielder. How about that? That's what he is. We'll head to the top of the 5th. Score still 5-1. Phil's on top.
Finish the summer strong with some weekend baseball when the Phils take on the Cards. Friday, August 21st at 6:40, Saturday, August 22nd at 6:05, and Sunday, August 23rd at 1:35. Secure seats today at Phillies.com.
Oh, the ultimate goal of an MLB fan? Well, seeing it all. The MLB Journey to 30 Sweepstakes presented by T-Mobile is the ultimate bucket list. Enter now for your chance to win trips to all 30 ballparks. That's right, all 30. MLB.com/journey to 30 sweeps. We're here at the Field of Dreams ballpark. And it's still kind of light out. The lights are on, of course, but such a beautiful setting. Twins are going to have a new pitcher here to start top of the 5th inning. It'll be Travis Adams, right-handed pitcher, 5.86 ERA. This will be the 28th game for him. He's going to face Alec Bohm here in the top of the 5th inning. He's going to work exclusively out of the stretch, and his first pitch, that's a fastball right down the middle. Alec taking look like all the way. Alec today flew out in the first inning, and he was robbed in the third on a ground ball. Terrific play by Cody Clemens. They thought they were buddies. They are no longer buddies. The 0-1. Swing, foul tip off the catcher's glove. Count runs 0-2. Alec Bohm right now, 39 straight plate appearances with no strikeouts. So he finds himself here in an 0-2 count. He's going to have to work real hard here. Adams, he looks in and he fires. And there's the strikeout right there. A swing and a miss on a fastball down and away. That's the first out of the inning. Let's take 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves. You're listening to the Phillies Radio Network.
From the Northeast PA Jeep Dealer Studio, 94.1 Wilkes-Barre, 102.7 Scranton, and 6:30 a.m. all over Northeast PA. Sports Radio WEJL.
Scores 5-1 here, top of the fifth. Phils are on top of the Twins. One out. Brandon Marsh from the left side. Brandon, the first pitch he sees is inside for a ball. Marsh, couple of walks today, but he did score at a stolen base in the fourth. So still struggling a little bit at the plate, but he's making himself, when he gets on, very useful. That's good. 1-0 with check swing. He didn't go. 2-0 count. I ran into a gal, one of the ushers today. I mean, like all these new parks, you get lost a lot of the times. Adams, the pitch. There's a hot shot the other way through the hole for Brandon Marsh. That's a base hit. Good piece of hit, and especially with Lee drawn in, that ball got right past him. That'll bring up JT Realmuto. Yeah, I met a gal out there named Tammy. She was kind of out in front. I was talking to her a little bit, and I asked her, I said, "Are you from here?" She said, "Yeah, about 20 miles. And I said, "Do you remember when they made the movie?" She goes, "Oh, do I ever." This is back in 1988, 89 in that time. And she said the town or the city or whatever it is here, they were all so excited. Everybody was just, they wanted them here. They were so pumped. It was a big deal. First pitch to JT. That's fouled straight back at us. I jumped, not going to lie to you.
I did too.
Okay. She said, though, she goes, I had kids, man. I had these young kids. I couldn't get out here and see a lot of the action. But she goes, ever since the movie was over, then they brought the kids out here. Since then, they would come out all the time and bring family and stuff to this area. 0-1 count. Pitch to JT. He takes it inside for a ball. I know the final shot of the film, for those that have seen Field of Dreams, the final shot where it's just pitch black and cars are driving out, they actually had to have a complete planned blackout of all of Dyersville. 1-1 pitch. Fouled off. And of course, if you're going to have a blackout, you might as well get your car and you go into the scene. And that's what they did. All those cars were people from Dyersville, and they were clicking their brights on and off and on, off and on.
Well, that same length of car line was waiting out front when we got here today. It was daylight, so they didn't have the lights on. But a lot of people waiting to get in here.
Marsh not going. The pitch to JT. That's a ball. Counts 2-2, one out. Top of the fifth. Fills up 5-1. Justin Crawford stands on deck. Adams sets at the belt. Looks at Marsh. Marsh not going. The pitch. This ball's hit in the air. Not hard. Out toward right field. That's Keishel. This time he camps under it. Interesting route, but he does make the catch. 2 outs. Justin Crawford struck out in the second, grounded out in the fourth. Brandon Marsh still on first base. Now, Brandon did have a stolen base back in the fourth. We'll see if they get him on the move. Adams sets, and the pitch. That is a strike on the outside corner. Justin Crawford now 2 for 12 on this road trip. Hands high, wide stance, as usual. And his pitch, check swing on a slider down and in. Count runs 2-0. Players are so close, even to us, to the field and the fans. It's actually kind of a nice. It's nice, actually, for the fans and us. Here's a pick to first. He gets back no problem. There is that wind blowing in. Straight up in the outfield, though, against Justin Crawford. Brandon, short lead at first. The 1-1. That's a hit hard the other way through the hole. Another base hit on the ground for Justin.
Seeing a lot of that lately from Justin. That low to left, ground balls the other way. You talked earlier about how Culpepper would play up the middle, and he's using that hole really effectively. Now this time they had Lee pretty well off the line, but he was still just a couple of steps behind the bag, so Crawford able to shoot it past him. But that's the benefit of speed. You get that third baseman in a little bit, and he can't cover that much ground to going to his left.
Kyle Schwarber now with 2 runners on and 2 outs. The first pitch he takes low. 2 runners on, 2 outs, and 2 home runs today for Schwarber.
Including the playoffs, it's his 30th multi-home run game with the Phillies.
Wow. Now here's the 1-0, and this ball's hit high in the air towards center. Back goes Buxton, but he's going to get underneath this one. Crowd wasn't really sure, but just missed that one. Got down on the hands a little bit. So Adams, although he had a couple of base hit, couple of runners, he's able to get out of the inning as we'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Phils are still up by 4. We're going to head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Phillies are up 5-1. 9 hits for the Phils now, 4 for Minnesota. It'll be the 9-hitter, the shortstop today for the Twins. It's Kalen Culpepper. Hasn't been up very long, but he certainly is a big prospect with the Twins. Number 2 prospect inside their organization. Right-handed hitter, struck out back in the 2nd inning. Aaron Nola's going to start the inning here with 72 pitches out of his windup, and the first pitch misses off the plate. He does have some run support now, so he's got 4 runs to work with. Curveball's been excellent tonight. The pitch. There's another curveball right there in there for a strike. That knuckle curve today, he's thrown it 38% of the time. The 4-seamer at 32%, changeup 19%, and the 2-seamer at 11%. So everything over 10%, trying to use all the pitches. Culpepper is going to use his timeout. Little pull in the infield against him defensively, opposite way in the outfield. The 1-1, and that's a breaking ball, foul tip. JT can't quite hang on to it. Wasn't sure because of the big head that stood up right in front of me, Scott, but he dropped quickly.
Yeah, there are seats right in front of our window, but there's some people that have chosen to stand up a lot. Yeah.
Oh. Well, it's their dream to be here at the Field of Dreams. What are you going to do? The 1-2, fastball up for a ball. Culpepper, yeah.
Yeah, I can just slide to my right or left. Work around that big noggin.
Culpepper now in the minor leagues was wrestling with some injuries for a long time, a couple of months. He had a glute strain. 2-2 pitch by Aaron. This ball's hit in the air toward right, but it's going to float foul, and it reaches the crowd. Overall, the corn stalks down there. Yeah, he came back June 24th from the injury, started playing, and then was called up under a month later. Now, he's really known, talking about Culpepper, the hitter, he's really known for his defense. Spectacular plays to his right and left. It's the routine play. Sounds somewhat familiar, I guess. 2-2, swing and a miss on the knuckle curveball. That's the second strikeout for Culpepper today, and the 7th for Aaron Nola. That'll flip the lineup. Trevor Larnach now. Trevor having a pretty good day. A couple of singles. One in the first, one in the third. And the whole entire infield now will shift. Hard pull against the left-hander Trevor Larnach. Outfield stays straight up. Out of his windup, Nola fires. That ball's fouled off into the Phillies dugout. Look out.
Larnach's the one guy with the 2 clean singles in this inning, or in this game against Nola. I mean, Jeffers had a base hit, but that was an infield dribbler. He basically reached on a swinging bunt.
Next pitch, ball down.
And then, of course, the 1 home run. Other than that, I mean, Nola's been really, really good.
It's one of those games, too, when you watch Aaron, at least you and I are watching and talking to the fans, is it feels like he's in control of the game, of the strike zone. The 1-1, ball's fouled down the first base line. I don't know, maybe there's a comfort level with Aaron knowing that there's not ABS. He can just, I don't know, confidence that way. Looks good. Larnach's going to use the timeout here.
He's working with JT behind the plate as well, and JT hasn't caught him a whole lot lately. Garrett's been back there for a few of them.
You think that affects it? Maybe.
I don't know that it...
1-2 pitch. Fastball blew it right by him. Strike 3.
You know, it's not something Aaron is ever going to say. I mean, he's about as cool as they come and sort of laid back as they come. But, I mean, by the way, Nola has gone over now 950 career innings with JT catching him. No other active catcher has caught a pitcher more in baseball today. I mean, these two, just think of the longevity of both of them to be paired up for this long.
First pitch to Buxton. He rolls over it down the third base line, and it stays fair just inside the bag. Stott, it kind of maybe went off his glove a little bit, and Buxton's going to get into second base. I think they're going to probably give that a double. And I thought Bryson had a chance to get this, but it looked like, I don't know if he lost it maybe in the crowds or he just misplayed it, but it took a nasty spin hop. The thing had spin. I just saw a replay. When it hit the dirt, it came kind of spinning toward the third baseline away from his glove. Tricky play.
It was going to be a tough throw. I mean, Buxton can run, of course, and it wasn't going to be necessarily an easy out if he gloves it. But by not gloving it, it puts a man in scoring position as opposed to a 2-out single.
Brian Jeffers, the catcher's the hitter now. Right side. First pitch, that's a strike.
So again, the Twins have had runners in every inning against Nola, but like you said, it feels like Nola's pretty much in control.
I don't know about you, but when I see that ball go down the third baseline, I want so badly to see Stott's arm every time I see it. Make a great play. 0-1 count. And the pitch from Aaron, that's a breaking ball hit foul down the third baseline. And bangs off the net and right past the ball boy down there.
Yeah, I mean, I can think of a couple of curveballs, one in particular that he threw to steal an early strike that's more up in the zone, just kind of a get-me-over first pitch curveball. But that's one of the few that he's left up a little bit. And fortunate that Jeffers was out front.
Jeffers singled in the first, struck out in the third. Really anchored the 3 spot for the Twins. Runner on second base, pitch by Nola, and that's off the plate for a ball. Counts 1-2, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. 5-1, Phillies on top. Byron Buxton on second base. A little bit pull now in the infield. Arise at second base. He's hollering at Buxton. Aaron's pitch, that's up high, ball 2. Counts 2-2 now.
Phillies start to get a left-hander up in the bullpen. I think they're probably seeing, obviously the pitch count closing in on 90. Some pitches that are getting up in the zone a little bit.
2-2 pitch, breaking ball, check swing, and he didn't go. Count runs full. Jeffers stands in from the right side. He's ready to go, and he's going to step out. I think Aaron actually stepped off the back of the rubber.
Jeffers, who was much talked about before the trade deadline, Twins decided to roll with him and keep him.
Pitch by Aaron. Breaking ball missed badly off the plate, ball 4, and Jeffers will head on down to first base. I gotta believe that might prompt a visit or something here.
Looks like it will.
Caleb Cotham come out and have a little chat, slow it down a little bit.
I believe it's Tim Meza who is loosening up in the bullpen. He's done a nice job with Bell tonight. You've got another righty to follow. Cody Clemens after that. He was a left-handed batter, of course, but the Phillies are certainly appreciative of all the nostalgia and everything that comes with a signature game like tonight. But this is about, as Don Mattingly said, this is about winning, and we gotta get going.
Right.
You could really hear it in his voice when we talked to him pregame.
Well, Caleb's done with the visit. The entire infield was in. They're all kind of walking back their positions now. Caleb's just getting back to the dugout. Bruce Dreckman had to go out there, the umpire, to kind of break it up. Let's reset everything here. Byron Buxton now on second base. Ryan Jeffers is on first. There are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. The hitter will be switch hitter Josh Bell. He's the DH today. 255 hitter. He's got some pop. Veteran guy. Play pull in the infield, pretty straight up in the outfield. Aaron out of his stretch. And the pitch. First pitch misses off the plate. Ball 1. Bell struck you out in the first, grounded out in the third. Always a dangerous hitter. Aaron's ready. Kicks and fires. And misses inside. Count goes 2-0. Boy, being so close to the field here, you can really hear Aaron's grunt, can't you?
Yeah.
He does it on fastballs, knuckle curveballs, it doesn't matter. Got to make a pitch here. Hitters count for Josh Bell. The 2-0. Breaking ball missed inside. Counts now 3-0. On deck is Royce Lewis. 3-0 count, 2 runners on. Nola's pitch, right down the middle for a strike, and it looked like Bell was taking all the way. Counts 3-1. Nola at 93 pitches. Crowd just got really quiet here. Nola's 3-1 pitch, breaking ball missed low. And that's going to load the bases up now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Well, of course, that double by Buxton just past the glove of Stott seemed somewhat innocent at the time, but now, after 2 straight walks, Twins have loaded the bases and they've got the tying run standing at the plate, and this is the last batter one way or the other for Aaron Nola, as that was his 99th pitch of the night.
Lewis, right-handed hitter, with the bases loaded now.
94th, pardon me. They have 99 on the board.
Hard pull in the infield now, out of a stretch. Aaron's first pitch, breaking ball, big swing, and a miss by Lewis.
Lewis hit the ball hard his first time up, but it was right at Trey Turner.
I'd be okay with that again. Straight up in the outfield. Buxton at third. Jeffers at second, Bell on first. Nola working out of the stretch. His 0-1. Fastball. That's a strike called on the outside corner. Generous strike, but he'll take it. Quickly ahead, 0-2. There comes that crowd.
And maybe that right there is a pitch he wouldn't get with ABS. Who knows?
See if he goes out there again. 0-2 count. Nola, the pitch. Breaking ball, got him. Swinging. Big strikeout for Aaron Nola. After a double and a couple of walks, loads the bases but gets the big strikeout to end the threat here in the bottom of the 5th. Nice job, Aaron. As we head to the top of the 6th, it'll be Scott Fransky back with play-by-play with the Phils up 5-1. Well, your Citizen Stats leader. How about the Tampa Bay Rays? They finished a road trip, their last one, where they went 9-0. They ran through the Rockies, the Mariners, and the Athletics. That's the first unbeaten trip of 3 or more series in their franchise history. It's just the 13th road trip of 9-0 or better by any team in the modern era. And believe it or not, the Red Sox did it earlier this year. Citizens, the official bank of the Phillies.
Trey Turner leading off, top of the 6th inning here in Iowa. And Travis Adams still on the mound. His first pitch misses inside to Turner. 1 ball and no strikes. Trey has been on twice tonight with a double, a walk, a run scored. Adams set, and his pitch. That's outside corner for a called strike. And it's 1-1. Phillies off day tomorrow. They'll head to Minnesota tonight. Saturday at 7:10 Eastern. Jesus Luzardo will go for the Phillies. The pitch swung on, popped up. Right side of the infield. Lewis calling for it at first, and he's got it. 1 gone. Now to bring up Bryce Harper. Harper had an RBI single his last time up. He's also drawn a walk tonight. One of 4 walks issued by Taj Bradley, the starter for the Twins. The pitch down low. One of the things you were talking about the souvenir stands earlier. One of the things they're selling is this uniform for the Phillies. You can buy a jersey. You can only get 1 name and number on it, and that's 1 number on it. That's number 3.
Oh,
Harper's. Now the ones you players are playing with, pitch is in for a strike, don't have nameplates on the back. They're just numbers. They maybe had some others underneath. I don't know. Maybe you could get Schwarber, but the pitch. Swinging a ground ball hit towards first. It's fielded by Lewis, and he'll run to the bag and get Harper, who grounds out. But a lot of number 3s in the stands tonight. And by the sounds of it, there's just flat out a lot of Phillies fans here.
Yes. In fact, I met a gal today. Actually, she came to our window right here and was screaming at me. Kevin. So I met her. It's me, Wendy. And I do recognize it from some social media stuff.
Here's Luis Arise. And the pitch to Luis misses outside.
She drove 10 hours to get here. Said she's been here for a couple days.
Wow.
Yeah. Not as far as Andrew Painter's parents, who drove 17 hours.
The pitch he's taking, and he looks at a strike. They split it up.
I didn't ask him, but they sure looked tired.
1 ball, 1 strike. Arise with 2 hits today. The pitch he takes, that's down and away. Luis, who broke into the big leagues with the Minnesota Twins, where he won his first batting title. 2 balls and a strike, and Adams with a pitch. Swung on, hit in the air, center field. Buxton waiting on it, drifting to his right, and he'll make the catch. And there is a 1-2-3 inning for Travis Adams. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. It is the Phillies 5 and the Twins 1.
Well, your Chick-fil-A nugget of the game, August 13th, 1972. Between games of a Sunday afternoon doubleheader with Montreal, high wire artist Carl Wallenda thrills the crowd of over 30,000 by walking across the stadium on a tightrope, the most dazzling promotion in vet history. He repeats the nerve-wracking feat on May 31st, 1976.
Phillies will go to their bullpen here for the bottom of the 6th inning. And it's going to be Cody Clemens leading off for the Twins. First man out is left-hander Brooks Raley. His 50th appearance of the season between the Mets and the Phils. And the first pitch to Clemens is a called strike. It's 5-1 here. Phillies are in front. Clemens, Keishel, and Lee do up the pitch. Way inside. Almost hit him. Raley, who had a 1-2-3 inning yesterday. Pitching on the road in St. Louis. 3 straight scoreless outings now. Only one base runner allowed in those 3 games. The 1-1 is up high. Phillies obviously struggling with their bullpen. They're struggling in a lot of respects, but they get another 5-inning start tonight. So that continues to put pressure on the pen. Raley, the 2-1. And a swing and a fly ball left field. Long run. Marsh towards the corner. This ball slicing. It's going to go out of play, foul.
That ball sliced so far. Wow. Yeah, Raley, he's got such a great arm. It's a whip. There's a lot of whip to his arm. I really like that. One thing about Raley, and he's pretty upfront about it, I mean, you might see him go back to back. He might have to rest an extra day longer than a lot of other bullpen arms just because he's had some injuries and things like that. That's the one thing that can be a little bit tough. He's a guy, though, that you want to keep healthy for sure.
The 2-2 to Clemens. Swing and a miss. He got him. And the Aggie gets the Longhorn.
Oh, yeah.
Brooks Raley, a Texas A&M product. Here is Keishall, who homered back in the 2nd inning. The 30th homer allowed this season by Aaron Nola. First pitch to him, misses. 5 innings for Nola, 1 run allowed on 5 hits, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. Threw a lot of pitches, though. Here's the 1-0. And that's ripped over the leap of Stott. It's down the left field line. That'll be a base hit going to the corner. And Keishall on his way into second. He's thinking about third, but he puts on the brakes. And it's a 1-out double. And trying to make up for not being able to catch that ball that clanked off his glove, went over the right field wall for a home run for Kyle Schwarber. He's got a homer of his own, a walk, and now a double in his 3 plate appearances. 17th 2-base hit of the year. The pitch. And that's in for a strike to the switch-hitting third baseman Brooks Lee. That's right-handed.
So I was just going to let you know, by the way, I got a text from my brother who lives out on the West Coast. He's watching the game, not listening.
The pitch. It's outside. What's the meaning of this?
I know. But what he did say, he said, hey, is there no ABS challenge? Because a lot of those pitches don't look like strikes.
Lined up by Raley in the 1-1. Swing and a bouncer foul, third base side. No, there is no ABS challenging tonight. But if there were, they would be brought to you by Gusto. Hire, pay, and grow your team with Gusto.
That was smooth, by the way.
Yeah. Next pitch, that is in there for a called third strike, and Brooks Lee caught looking. I think he wanted to challenge.
Yeah. Well, your Independence Blue Cross player spotlight. How about Edmundo Sosa? It's been so good, especially as a pinch hitter. He's hitting 3 for 10 with a walk and 11 plate appearances as a pinch hitter. Independence Blue Cross. Learn more at ibx.com.
And with 2 outs and Culpepper coming to the plate. Coming to the mound is the Phil's pitching coach Caleb Cotham. They're getting a righty ready. I can't imagine a scenario in which Raley doesn't go all the way through Larnach, of course, who's on deck, even if Culpepper keeps it alive.
It's really hard to see out in the bullpen. Can you see?
Do you find this to be a bit of a curious mound visit?
I do.
I mean, is it simply to just buy a little more time to make sure the righty is ready for Buxton? It's Jonathan Bolin.
Oh, that's 100% what it could be. Buying time, slowed it down. I mean,
Culpepper, who's been pretty good against left-handed pitching. And the first pitch on the way, he fouls it down at the plate. Tonight, he struck out both times up against Aaron Nola. His OPS is roughly 400 points better against lefties than it is against righties. But overall, still a 150 hitter we're talking about.
Well, he doesn't have a whole lot of at-bats, does he?
That's true. In
I mean,
fact,
very limited.
Even with just 2 at-bats, he's really struggled to get started.
Yeah.
The pitch. And a swing and a miss.
Now that
He's hitting 271 at AAA.
So the board up there said 87 miles an hour. That's no way.
Whatever it was, it puts him ahead of the count. The 0-2 ground ball, weakly hit past the mound. Turner charges, gloves, throws. He got him. Nice play and a nice scoreless frame from Brooks Raley. 1 hit in the inning and 1 man left, and we'll go to the 7th. It's 5-1 Phillies. Catch the Phils when they take on the Marlins Monday, August 17th and Tuesday, August 18th, both at 6:40, and Wednesday, August 19th at 6:05.
Way back there. Gone.
Snag tickets now at Phillies.com.
We're at the top of the 7th inning. The PGW game summary here. Well, the score is 5-1. Phil's on top, and Aaron Nola was really good. He went 5 innings, 5 hits, had to battle through that. But the story has been Kyle Schwarber. Right out of the gate, leadoff home run in the first, into the corn. That was Scott Fransky's dream to call that, but that wasn't done. He had another home run that he hit in the 4th off of the right fielder's glove. So that was a couple home runs for him. 2 runs there. Turner had a double. Harper's got a hit and an RBI. Stott as well. So a lot of runs here in the 4th, which has been terrific. They're up 5-1 here in the top of the 7th over the Twins. PGW fueling the future.
Bryson Stott leading it off. Adams still on the mound, his 3rd inning of work for the Twins, and the first pitch misses outside for ball 1. Stott, Bohm, and Marsh due up here. And the pitch, that's taken, and it's a little bit wide. 2 balls and no strikes. 5-1 ball game. 2-homer night for Kyle Schwarber. Here's the 2-0, and it's swung on, grounded foul, first base side. That is the 2nd ever multi-home run game here at the Field of Dreams. Aaron Judge did it back in 2021. His 2nd homer was a go-ahead home run in the top of the 9th inning against the White Sox. The pitch. That's a strike over the outside corner. And Stott at 2-2. But in the bottom of the 9th inning, Tim Anderson, who just this past week announced his retirement from Major League Baseball, although I don't know that he's played anywhere for a while.
Signed that piece of paper, though.
But he hit a walk-off home run, the 2-2. And he hits a tapper that goes 1.5 feet out in front of home plate. It'll be picked up by Jeffers. He'll throw him out. Here's one away. Gave the folks at Netflix a chance to use that dirt cam that they spent hours installing after batting practice today. They had a whole team of experts huddled around the spot near second base, putting a camera into the dirt, and then they had a whole team around home plate doing the same. Pitch to Bohm, swing and a miss. Aaron Judge with 31 multi-homer games since the start of 2022. Kyle Schwarber is 2nd on that list. The pitch is inside. Tonight was his 28th, not counting the postseason, since 22, the 2nd most in baseball. 1-1. The pitch. Swung on, fouled back. Still waiting to see if perhaps Des Moines native Derek Hill can get into the game today. If he does so, he would become the first player born in Iowa to appear in a regular season major league game in his state.
Yeah.
It is not a really long list of Phillies who hail from Iowa. 1-2 pitch, and it's fouled back. Same can be said for a lot of franchises because it's not a long list of major leaguers that made it all the way from the cornfields of Iowa to the big leagues. One ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swung on, popped up foul. That's out of play. Dave Bancroft, who is actually a Hall of Famer from the early 1900s, he played for the Phillies and hailed from Iowa. But he did a lot of his real big work with other ball clubs after leaving Philadelphia. The 1-2. Swung on. Hit well up the alley, left center field. Larnach going back towards the track at the wall, and it lands at the base of the fence right next to the 380 sign. And Bohm is into second base with a ringing double. That ball was well struck. And a one-out runner in scoring position situation for Brandon Marsh coming up. If you rank all the players and pitchers by WAR and just what they calculated as a member of the Phillies, Derek Hill is actually 6th on that list. And he's been here 2 months. There's a pitch that's hit off the end of the bat foul.
It's been a career 2 months, pal.
You've got Dave Bancroft. Joe Horner, who was a reliever in the early 70s, spent 3.5 seasons with the Phillies over 2 different stints, but he famously came from St. Louis in the Dick Allen-Curt Flood deal that Curt Flood refused to report. Started launching free agency. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Another early 1900s ball player, Ernie Courtney. Jeremy Hellickson, who was a pitcher for the Phillies for 1.5 years. He's 4th on that list. John Lieber is 5th. Also, brief stay with the Phillies. And Derek Hill is 6th. 0-2 the count on Marsh. And the pitch bounces in there. Marsh, one of the few Phillies to have played in this state before in professional baseball, as he played for Burlington in the Midwest League, Burlington, Iowa, when he was coming up through the Angels organization. A look at second in the 1-2 pitch. Brandon swings, smokes it right field. Long run for Keishel, looking up at the wall, and it's gone. And Brandon Marsh sends one into the cornfield. A 2-run home run for Marsh. And the Phillies now with a 7-1 lead here in the 7th inning as Marsh hits his 17th of the season.
Couple of guys in the Phil's lineup right here hitting 6-7. Taking a lot of heat lately and trying to find the barrel. Bohm has actually came in with 3 hits on the road trip. Now has 4, and Brandon as well. Brandon, couple walks and a single, now a home run. This could be a good spark.
Now JT Realmuto. 3rd homer of the night for the Phils. JT hits a bloop towards right. Keishel coming in to get this one. He will get there and make the catch for out number 2.
Now, I'm fairly certain when you were talking about Marsh has spent some time here, you have spent time through here.
I have indeed. Not
the Field of Dreams.
Dyersville, yes.
Right.
Had never been here before, but certainly had done a fair share of Midwest League baseball games another lifetime ago. Travis Adams is done. We've got a pitching change in progress as Derek Shelton will take the baseball from the right-hander. And it's brought to you by Pennington Grass Seed, official partner of the Phillies grounds crew. Phillies now lead it 7-1. Back in a moment on the Phillies Radio Network. 35-year-old left-hander Taylor Rogers entering his 50th game for the Twins this season. The big, tall lefty, 6'3", 6-3, the record. And a .527 earned run average. Going to face Justin Crawford. 7-1, Phillies lead it now after the home run by Brandon Marsh. And the first pitch on the way is a strike, I think. He's going to sit down now, the guy in front of me. The 0-1. And a swing and a fly ball center field. Buxton is coming in to get it. He'll make the grab, and the side's retired. But the Phillies get 2 more. Double from Bohm, then the homer by Brandon Marsh. And as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning, it is stretch time in Iowa, and the Phillies lead it 7-1.
Well, plan your 2027 baseball adventures with Phillies Vacations. Explore 3 exciting road trips to Toronto, Miami, and St. Louis. Experience the excitement of spring training or set sail on vacation in Paradise Cruise. Why not do that one? Enjoy exclusive experiences with fellow Phillies fans while Phillies Vacations takes care of every little detail. Visit Phillies.com/vacations to reserve your spot today.
Phillies with a 7-1 lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They'll go to their 8th inning setup man, Jonathan Bolin. We, of course, mentioned that Bolin had begun to warm up near the end of the 6th inning with Brooks Raley on the mound. The Phillies expanded their lead, but they stay with Bolin, who was already warmed and ready. Plus, you've got the top of the order here, and he misses with the first pitch outside, ball 1. So trying to make sure he gets through this top of the order in good shape is Don Mattingly. Going to a guy who's been one of his most trusted relievers. Here's a swing and a fly ball center field. Crawford on the way to his right is going to have plenty of room to make the grab. One gone. That'll bring up Buxton. For Brandon Marsh, that home run was his first in the last 22 games. And only his second home run since the 1st of July, a span of 36 games. He now has 2 homers. There's a foul back into the screen. And Buxton down to the count, 0-1. Doubled in the 5th inning. That started some noise against Nola. With 2 outs, he had a bouncer that Stott couldn't handle on the backhand side, took a funny hop on him. Here's the pitch, and it's a breaking ball. That's down and away. One ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. Check swing by Buxton. He was able to lay off. And the breaking ball finishes outside.
Scott, did you notice as you and I are looking out beyond the outfield fence, there are 4 light poles, and the light poles at the bottom have lights shining up the light poles.
2-1 is down and away. Yeah.
Isn't that cool? Now those are called ball tracker lights. They shine up, and it hits the other light, and it's supposed to help the outfielders with balls in the air.
Really?
Yeah, it's supposed to light it up from underneath just a little bit without getting in the way of the outfielder.
3-1 pitch. That's in for a strike. 3-2. I thought it was just landscape lighting, up lighting.
What is it? Shining the poles?
It's really. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I don't think we're putting lights on the foul poles for that.
It has a dramatic effect here in the middle of nowhere.
Literally, it's pitched. It's so dark beyond those.
It really is. Next pitch swung on, popped up on the infield.
You really see it.
And Trey Turner has no trouble seeing it. He'll make the catch near the bag at second base.
I've never seen that before. Now, I wonder. Remember, I was talking about the poles earlier. Now, these are higher than like Williamsport, but they're not as high as Citizens Bank Park. So maybe that's how they get away with that, is the uplights.
Well, it'll be fascinating to see what they do with this stadium, honestly.
Oh.
I mean, obviously, this event is one that Major League Baseball wants to keep alive year after year. As a ball smashed past the shortstop. And that's a base hit into left center by Ryan Jeffers, his second hit of the night. And a 2-out single bring up Josh Bell. Kind of as soft openings for tonight's event, they had a AAA game here the other night, and they also had a high school All-American game here this week. think they have a college event scheduled for sometime in the fall after this is over with. Here's Josh Bell, and he goes after the first pitch and fouls it out of play.
Well, they do have a team called the Dyersville Dreamers in the Northwoods League.
Okay.
They start in 27.
So they're going to play here?
And I think they're planning on playing here.
All right, well, that makes a lot more sense. Pitch is down low. Now, the Northwoods League, that's a college wood bat league.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Summer, right? Yeah, that's correct. Man, those guys are spoiled. Wow. How great is that?
1-1 the count. And the pitch. Swung on, line towards left field. Pretty well hit. On the run, Marsh going back to his left. Reaches up, makes the catch over his shoulder as he crosses onto the track. And runs that one down. Nice play by Brandon Marsh. No runs on a hit. And a man left will go to the 8th. Phillies lead it 7-1.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Philadelphia Phillies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Phillies.
The Phillies, who have a 7-1 lead, and Kyle Schwarber is coming to the plate. Schwarber, who already has 2 home runs tonight. He's also got 2 really loud outs out to center field. Needs to pull it, right?
Well, yeah, I mean,
number 3 tonight. It has kind of seemed like some balls to center and towards left center have died a little bit.
I
mean,
think
Marsh's
so.
ball, Boehm's ball was crushed, and I really thought that would have been out. But,
I'm with you. Yeah.
But to right field, it's a little bit of a different story, it feels like. Which is interesting because the flags there right next to the right field foul pole are pointing in, but it might be, again, coming across the cornfield and kind of knocking balls down and left and in center. Yeah. Well, here's Schwarber against Rogers, leading off the 8th, and the first pitch is a strike called. Schwarber was jumping out of the way of that. Schwarber, who has 6 times in his career had 3 or more home runs at a game. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Big cut there, and it's 0-2. $11 hits for the Phillies tonight. And good to see after just a dreadful couple of days for the offense in St. Louis. Oh-2. Down and away. Talking with Don Mattingly before the game, he said, do you sense that guys are excited about this opportunity, or is it just another day on the schedule, just happens to be in a different place? He said, no, I think there's really some juice today. 1-2 pitch, and that's a called third strike. He said guys, he felt like the players showing a lot of enthusiasm for coming here, and maybe that could be something of a boost for them. He said, I don't know that it would carry over, but for one night anyway, it might have given them a little bit of an energy boost. Here is Turner, and he goes after the first pitch and grounds it right at the shortstop, Culpepper, who will throw him out. And with that, let's pause for station identification here on the Phillies Radio Network.
From the Northeast PA Jeep Dealer Studio, 94.1 Wilkes-Barre, 102.7 Scranton, and 6:30 a.m. all over Northeast PA. Sports Radio WEJL.
With Kevin Stocker, I'm Scott Fransky with you from the Field of Dreams in Dyersville, Iowa. On what has been a good night for the Phils, leading 7-1. Bryce Harper batting here in the 8th with 2 outs against Rogers, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. Harper 1 for 3 and checked his swing there, did he? No, he didn't, says the third base umpire. Might see right here the Phillies would go to Derek Hill to come into the game. Defensively, The pitch. That's a called third strike. Harper knew it. And Rogers gets his man. So a 1-2-3 eighth inning for Rogers. And we'll head to the bottom of the eighth here in Iowa with the Phillies up 7-1. Your favorite power hitter, pocket-sized. All fans receive a Wawa Kyle Schwarber bobble figurine on Friday, August 21st when the Phils take on the Cardinals at 6:40. Visit Phillies.com for tickets now.
Well, there's a holiday coming up, so you can spend your holiday weekend at Citizens Bank Park when the Braves come to town to face the Phils for a National League East matchup Friday, September 4th through Monday, September 7th. Grab your tickets today at Phillies.com.
Some changes for the Phillies as we go to the bottom of the eighth inning. On the mound, Orion Kerkering will take over. And in right field, it's Derek Hill, the first Iowa native ever to play a major league game here in this state. Des Moines native takes over for Bryce Harper defensively in right. Royce Lewis will lead off here against Kerkering with the Phillies leading 7-1. And the first pitch on the way to Lewis is a breaking ball, a little bit low for ball one. Orion Kerkering trying to find a way to get back on track. And a pretty low leverage spot here, albeit the eighth inning, but with a 6-run lead. And he misses on his first two. Both breaking balls down low. Elsewhere tonight, Braves are off, enjoying their 9.5 game lead over the Phillies. The pitch, it's down and away. Padres are off as well. They leapfrogged above both the Diamondbacks and Phillies in the wild card race. They've been scorching hot. Kerkering's 3-0, and that's in for a strike. It's 3-1. Dodgers and Brewers are going at it. Top of the first inning in Los Angeles. No score there. The Rangers and Angels just getting it away in Anaheim. The pitch swung on, popped up. First base line, foul ground. Bohm chasing. So is Hill. Bohm is out of room. Runs into the tarp, which thankfully has stayed all rolled up all night. And that ball ends up in the corn down past the first base stands. Tigers beat Cleveland today 3-0. White Sox, though, lose to the Reds 9-8. The pitch, swinging a chopper out in front of the plate. JT is going to get it, spins, fires, and he got him. Good stretch by Alec Bohm, reaching on the inside part of the bag and giving JT a nice target to throw to.
Good bounce play, good communication. That's a fundamental part of catching there. You got to get out behind the dish. He uses the old traditional mask and helmet, so he's got to flip that mask off as he runs out there.
And that long reach of Alec Bohm proves helpful there, I think.
Yep.
One away. Here's Cody Clemens in the pitch. That is up and away for a ball. Out of town scores, as always, brought to you by Oliver Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. 55 years of family-owned service you can trust. The pitch. Clemens fouls it away. This is a pitcher the Phillies desperately need to get right.
Correct.
One ball, one strike. The pitch. Swung on, fouled back. Also feels like a situation where the Phillies were almost bound and determined to bring Kerkering and Duran into tonight's game regardless. They both had 3 days off. If they didn't pitch tonight, that would be 4. Tomorrow is an off day. That'd be 5. I think they want them to get a little more regular work than that. The 1-2. And a little slow roller. First base line. Kerkering to get it. Underhand flip to first. He got him. So with 2 gone, it'll bring up Luke Keeschel, who is responsible for the Twins' only run tonight with his solo home run back in the 2nd. Kirkering ready and deals. And the pitch is a strike. Fastball to start him off. The pitch. Breaking ball down and away.
You know, all that corn that you and I are looking at beyond the fence out there will be gone come mid-October, November-ish, right in there.
1-1. Breaking ball down low.
Pitch. Yeah, it's like September. I think they start drying out the corn, and then October, November they get ready to rock and roll with that stuff. Now here at this site tends to last a little bit longer.
2-1, and that's a breaking ball down and away. You did your corn research.
Let me tell you something. I like my corn.
You know, you didn't go play golf with some of the other guys after the game yesterday. You were researching corn, weren't you?
I was. I could tell you the fastest way to shuck or a corn.
Next pitch is in for a strike. The fastest way to shuck corn?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of different ways to do it. But,
okay.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to tell you?
Well,
I mean, if you have...
Probably be better visual if maybe Murph is I'm surprised you guys didn't hit up on Murph's content watch. Next pitch, and that's a called third strike. 2 pitches in a row. Keeschel thought he had walked. Not so, says Bruce Streckman. And that is a 1-2-3 8th inning for Orion Kirkering. We move on to the 9th in Iowa. It's 7-1 Phillies.
Well, cheer on the Phils as they host the Miami Marlins for a 3-game set at Citizens Bank Park on Monday, August 17th and Tuesday, August 18th, both at 6:40 p.m. and Wednesday, August 19th at 6:05 p.m. Secure seats today at Phillies.com.
Well, we go to the 9th inning, and the Phillies will have the middle third of their order due up. Luis Arraez will start it against the 4th pitcher of the night for the Twins. And the Twins have used Taj, Travis, Taylor, and Tommy. So far tonight as Tommy Nance takes over. And the first pitch to Arraez, that's inside. He spins out of the way of it. Luis 2 for 4 tonight.
That made me chuckle.
It's because it's been a long day.
It has been a long day.
It's not over yet.
It's been amazing, though, so far.
Yeah.
So.
The 1-0, and that's a strike called. 2 singles tonight for Arraez. Good to see him back in the multi-hit category. 1-1. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. And Arraez with his 3rd hit of the night.
Look, his bread and butter is just not in the air. He's an over-under guy. So he's over the infield, under the outfield. And one thing about being so close here at this ballpark, you hear everything from the ball players. He's a very animated, very vocal player when he swings. And we can hear everything. And he gets so frustrated when he hit that fly ball earlier.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
Now Stott, who drove in a run back in the 1st inning, he's 1 for 4 tonight. And Nance with a pitch, and that is a little bit wide for a ball. Does appear to be the Phillies closer, who is out there in the corn loosening up. 1-0 the count. The pitch, and that's a called strike on the inside corner. For those who may have watched or were watching earlier on the Netflix telecast, some really cool drone shots from overhead. I mean, you 1-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball inside. You really get a better sense of sort of the scope of it, the size and the magnitude of the property itself. And two balls and a strike, and the pitch swung on, fouled away. They still have the lights on at the movie site, and those are a much shorter variety of stadium lights. And they're also a little more old school, kind of the yellowish hue of the light bulb.
Pretty sure you can still get those at Home Depot and just screw them in.
Yeah. 2-2 pitch, fouled off. Culpepper shaded up the middle against Stott. Lee way off the line at third. Nance, the 2-2. Swinging a ground ball right towards the bag at second. And right over the bag, Culpepper fields, flips to Lee, who throws to first for a 6-5-3 double play.
Wow. I mean, that's a really heads-up play for Lee. I don't necessarily think before the play he was telling Culpepper, I'll be there, but that's something that they practice. And he head over there, and that was actually a really nice play, heads up. I've never seen that one before.
So 2 down now, and here's Alec Bohm. 1 for 4 tonight. And he takes down low. For the Phillies tonight, every starter except JT Realmuto has at least 1 hit. (1-0) upstairs.
Tommy Nance here for the Twins, although not traded in the actual trade deadline, was a big part of their bullpen that they got earlier in the summer.
1-0 pitch. It's outside.
Him, Jeff Hoffman, of course. He's here now. That was a deadline one. They got Dean Kramer from the Orioles, starting pitcher. A.J. Minter.
Kramer's going to start against the Phillies on Sunday. 3-0, and that's in there for a called strike. And of course, everybody remembers, especially the Phillies, what a fire sale it was for the Twins last year at the deadline. 3-1, and that's fouled away. But here they are a year later, and again, it's not a stacked American League right now. It's very top-heavy with some few really good teams, and then a whole bunch of others just battling for position, and the Twins are one of them. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swing at a ground ball, hit towards third. That's a foul ball.
Scott, this guy in front of you with the hat has not sat down the entire 9-inning game.
He's moved over a couple of steps to his left.
He did.
The other guy,
that's amazing.
He's a little shorter, so he doesn't bother me as much. (3-2). Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Bohm goes down on strikes, and that'll do it for the Phillies. No runs on a hit. Nobody left. Phillies try to close it out. They'll bring on the former Twin to do just that. They lead the Twins 7-1. Don't miss the huddle at Citizens Bank Park on Sunday, August 23rd at 1:35 when the Phils play the Cardinals. And kids 14 and under receive a Pico Bryce Harper football jersey. Grab tickets today at Phillies.com. Joan Duran, the former Minnesota Twin, now with the Phillies, of course, and he is on to try to finish this one out. Non-save situation with the Phillies up 7-1 here tonight. And Kyle Schwarber got it started, his leadoff home run, 47th of his career. And for Schwarber, he would add another home run later in the game. It was the 34th leadoff home run for him as a Philly. He drove in 3 runs total. Bryce Harper on base twice, drove in a run. So did Bryson Stott. Brandon Marsh with a 2-run home run late to break open some breathing room. And it's 7-1 as Duran takes over in the bottom of the ninth. 8-9-1 due up for the Twins. First pitch is swung on and missed by Brooks Lee. It's 0-1. Duran, 45th outing, a 1.74 ERA. 0-1 the count. And the pitch bounced in there. I would imagine for some of these players, I mean, they're big league players and they lock in and there's still a stadium, but the fact that there's nothing anywhere out, it's total blackness, for many of them, you got to think it just brings them back to being a kid playing baseball at night somewhere. Don Mattingly talked about when he drove in here today, it just brought him back to Indiana and rural Indiana, and he said, my brother played in this league, and you would literally drive down a dirt road past all the cornfields, and then all of a sudden there's a baseball field right in the middle. The pitch. Lee swings and fouls it. And just brought him back to memories of his youth, playing baseball with his brothers.
I used to go watch my brothers play, as I was a twin sister and I, and we would dragged along by our parents. Dad was coach, which was awesome. And we would be running around at night at the tournaments.
1-2, fouled away.
This field right here in the darkness and the light, granted, well, not this many fans, but reminds me so much of that when you're chasing foul balls out of the stadium. And you could catch the foul ball and take it in and exchange it for a snow cone. It was like the greatest thing.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And it's a breaking ball that just missed outside. Two balls, 2 strikes. Duran delivers. And there's a ground ball hit towards second. 2 hops. Arise has it. Fires to first, 1 away. Hard for us here in the booth, headphones on and all, and to hear much of what the actual presentation has been like for the fans that are in attendance, but obviously there have been different video clips. So there was a lot going on before the game and pretty cool moments. Watching all those Hall of Famers come out onto the field. As the pitch to Culpepper is in for a strike. Oh, 0-1, and the pitch. Swinging a line drive, left center field. And that'll be a base hit for Culpepper, his first of the game. So 1 out, 1 on, top of the order now, and Trevor Larnach. Larnach is 2 for 4 tonight. He had 2 hits early against Aaron Nola. Nola stands to be the winner. And the pitch. Swinging a shot, caught by Duran. He's got it, flips to first, double play. Ball game is over. And if only for one night, it seems heavenly for the Phils. They come to Iowa and beat up on the Twins. 7-1 the final as Kyle Schwarber steals the show. And the Phillies get a much-needed victory.
Wow, and now we are treated with some spectacular fireworks, not only in the game, but after the game. And I think it's just really fun for the guys because it's a long day of travel. It really is. You get up, you go through it. They do a terrific job here of getting everybody fed and on the planes. But once you get here, they were able to experience it, enjoy it. And I think you kind of hit it on the nose. By game time, 20 minutes before, they're running sprints. That stuff's all gone. They're able to lock it in and really enjoy just the game of baseball like back when they were kids. And I think it showed. Hopefully that is some energy that can stay with the club.
Streams of fireworks both from the right and left field corners out in the cornfields, and the Phillies get to celebrate a win. 7-1 the final. They beat the Twins tonight here in Iowa. Aaron Nola getting the win, his first win since May the 26th. We'll take a timeout, have more for you coming up right after this. From a cornfield in Dyersville, Iowa. Tonight, the Philadelphia Phillies continue their road trip when they take on the Minnesota Twins in the third ever installment of MLB's Field of Dreams game. Swung on, hit deep, headed for the corn, and that ball is gone! Leadoff home run for Kyle Schwarber.
Back to the wall is Keisho. He's at the wall, and he jumps. Oh, and he knocked it over. He jumped to catch it. It hit his glove. And the ball dropped over the wall. Breaking ball got him swinging. Big strikeout for Aaron Nola.
Keisha looking up at the wall, and it's gone. And Brandon Marsh sends one into the cornfield. There are lots of flies.
Well, wait.
In this booth.
Look at how many flies are on the fly stickum here. Oh, none.
Those are your sounds of the game. A big sound tonight by the Phil's bats. 7-1. They beat the Twins. 3 homers tonight. One by Brandon Marsh. He is our star of the game. And Brandon, congrats on a win, first of all. But boy, what a scene out here.
Yeah.
What was it like to be out there and kind of staring out into the darkness and bring you back to some youth days and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was definitely a little different taking. I can't hear myself right now. Hold on.
We can hear you.
It was definitely difficult to see the balls off the bat at times, but I mean, what an incredible event! What an incredible day! Blessed to be a Philly. Let's go.
Hey, I asked you earlier today, I saw you over at the movie field, and I said, hey, did you ever play in Iowa? You weren't even totally sure.
No, I knew. I knew I played at Burlow. I just wasn't sure about Cedar Rapids.
I gotcha.
But yeah, I know.
That was a long time ago you were here in Iowa.
I can never forget my time in Burlington.
Never. Brandon, how do you, on a day like this, it's so cool, so much going in, how do you lock it in? What's the strategy there? And still enjoy the day?
Yeah, had to definitely, I feel like all of us probably on both sides had to switch up the routines today. But it is what it is. Just hang with it and just keep rolling with it. But it was a whole lot of fun. I got to go over and see the movie set over there. So it was, I know all of us pretty much did. So feels like the home game here, all these Philly fans. So it's been an incredible day for us.
Just take us through, I mean, obviously you've had some struggles lately. What have you been working on, and what do you think is maybe helping you pay off on a night like tonight?
Really just trying to learn from my teammates, watching Harper have really, really, really good at-bats the last couple of weeks, watching Schwarber get back going, and, it's been just trying to learn from those guys and trying to just really rely on my teammates for help, and it's been
We're watching Schwarber crush an ear of corn right now.
Oh, my gosh.
But yeah, just really just enjoying it, trying to. It's been a tough go of it the last couple of weeks, but that's just baseball. The best of the best go through it. It's just how quick they can get out of it. So hopefully today was a good turning point.
Is it? And speaking of that, if something like this, I mean, it takes you even back to like Williamsport, but something like this, the energy and so forth, can it spark you like from here on out?
Most definitely. Yeah. I think this is a huge win for us. Not having the best second half that we think as a team that we could have. So today was a good start to turning that around and, trying to take a series against a good team like the Twins.
All right, go get your own ear of corn, pal.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Brandon.
See ya.
Our Chevrolet Star of the Game brought to you by your Philadelphia area Chevy dealers. Visit Chevrolet.com. It's an interesting point because the guys come here, they want to be a part of it. They want to enjoy it, but they have a job to do. And the Phillies are able to kind of compartmentalize. We saw Kyle Schwarber. You mentioned he's over there buying souvenirs earlier today, and he's sending out souvenirs tonight if somebody wants to go dig them out of the cornfield. But that's not always easy to do.
It's not easy to do, but that's why, like in the keys, when I was doing the keys today, the first one was to just go enjoy the day. Because when you dive into the day, don't worry about the performance. You dive into the day, that takes care of itself. Then 20 minutes, 25 minutes before the game, you can lock it in. They're so good at that. I'm so happy that they won, but more than that they were able to enjoy the day, especially with those families.
Well, the Phillies get the win tonight, 7-1. The final here are the totals for the Phillies. 7 runs, 12 hits, no errors. They left 8 men on base. For the Twins, it was 1 run on 8 hits, no errors, 9 men left. The winning pitcher is Aaron Nola, who's 4-9. Taj Bradley takes the loss. He's now 9-5, no save in the game. It took 2 hours and 52 minutes to play in front of a crowd of 7,163 here tonight as the Phillies beat the Twins. And think of this, the Phillies 2 up and 2 down on this road trip. The 2 wins, Andrew Painter and Aaron Nola. The 2 games the Phillies lost, Zach Wheeler and Christopher Sanchez. We haven't said that in quite some time. Phillies will have an off day tomorrow in Minneapolis, and they'll be back at it Saturday night at Target Field. Jesus Luzardo against Connor Prelip, another left-hander. It's a 7:10 start time. Our pregame coverage for that will begin at 6:35. So we hope you'll join us for that. Stick around now for the postgame show. Greg Murphy standing by with a recap on everything Iowa. That is all straight ahead here on the Phillies Radio Network. 7-1 the final. Phillies win it. For our engineer tonight in Iowa, Mike Tuberosa, and for Dan Wilson engineering back in our studios, and thanks to Rob Brooks for his assistance as well, getting us on the air. And for Kevin Stocker, I'm Scott Fransky saying thanks for listening. Stay tuned. The postgame show is next here on the Phillies Radio Network.
From the Northeast PA Jeep Dealer Studio, 94.1 Wilkes-Barre, 102.7 Scranton, and 6:30 a.m. all over Northeast PA. Sports Radio WEJL.
And the Phillies jubilant pile out of the dugout as they celebrate a win.
The game is over, but the conversation is just getting started.
Swung on, blasted, deep right field. That'll do it.
It's time for Phillies Playback. Greg Murphy is breaking down the big moments with scores from other games and Don Mattingly's thoughts on today's game.
And a swing and a drive, deep left field. Turner, his second 2-run home run of the night.
Phillies Playback is on. Here's Greg Murphy.
Well, they said in the movie, people will come, and they certainly did come tonight. Baseball fans from every corner of this country coming here to Iowa, to the Field of Dreams, to watch the Twins and the Phillies, and certainly the show did not disappoint. Hi, everyone. Welcome into Phillies Playback. I'm Greg Murphy here in Dyersville, Iowa, and it was a terrific show. Now, the game may have disappointed some. If you're a Twins fan, certainly didn't go your way. But if you're a Phillies fan, and I'm guessing you are if you're listening to us right now, it certainly was a great game as well. The Phillies get the win, and it matters. These games count for the Phils, and with 40 games, well, now 39 still to play, the Phillies get a victory, and they improved to 65-58 on the year. And but all in all, what a day, as we welcome Kevin Stocker back in to talk a little bit about this one, to talk about the experience, to talk about the day. We were lucky enough to get here early, Kev, and go over to the movie set side of things and get a chance to do all kinds of fun stuff and experience the entire Dyersville experience, the entire Field of Dream experience, and then the baseball game as well, which was really, really good, but just a lot of fun to check it off the bucket list.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an experience for sure, and there was always a threat of like rain and everything. I was so impressed at how well everything was pretty organized. We got to go see stuff over there. We got to see the ghost players. For those, we didn't get to that in the broadcast, but there's ghost players that are the ones that came out in the uniforms. They're over at the field for you to talk to, and I'm not only happy for us to do all that, I was very happy that the players got here in enough time to go relax and see it and really get into it before they had to turn it on.
It's such a great point because we were over there and all of our guys started to trickle on over, and it was so much fun to watch Chase Sugar up on the mound having a catch with JT Realmuto behind the plate, and Jonathan Bolin playing catch in the outfield, and Andrew Painter with his mom and dad getting to take it all in. They really seemed to enjoy it all. And to your point, they had enough time that they could go enjoy it and then get ready for the baseball game and do what they were able to do tonight.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, and you mentioned it too. We were talking. You're like, oh, I had to FaceTime my dad, right? I think everybody at one point or another was back there. Now, granted, this may not be for everybody. It is very nostalgic and movie-oriented, but baseball-oriented, and it's really a story about your dad and your family and all that stuff. So there were some people that had to watch the movie yesterday, Greg.
Yeah, I know.
Some did, and they're like, holy cow, I get it. I totally get it. So
there are some of our players that have still not watched the movie, but they will.
They will.
I won't call anybody out.
There you go. It's fair enough. So But it's like this corn here is different than the corn, in Chester County.
So you were telling us.
That's what I'm
You are our corn expert, but we don't have time for that.
Okay.
So let's get into the baseball game, because after all of the festivities early on in the game, it was then time to come over to this new beautiful ballpark here, which is just about, maybe 300 yards from where the movie set is. You walk over here, and it's a minor league stadium built right into the cornfield. And after batting practice and the pitchers getting ready, the national anthem and the flyover, and all of the Hall of Famers coming out of the corn, and all of this incredible showmanship, to the plate steps Kyle Schwarber, first batter of the game, and he puts on his own kind of show.
The 2-0 to Schwarber. Swung on, hit deep, headed for the corn, and that ball is gone! Leadoff home run for Kyle Schwarber to electrify the crowd here in Dyersville. 1-0 Phillies.
1-0 Phillies at that point. They would get a walk and a base hit from Harper and Arise, and the next batter then, Bryson Stott.
The pitch. Stott swings and lifts it towards left center field, slicing away from Buxton in the gap. It'll fall for a hit. Arise with a late break gets into second base. In to score is Harper, and Bryson Stott continues his red-hot hitting. He's got an RBI single, and it's a 2-0 start for the Phils.
Good start. Good start.
It's what a memory for Kyle, for certain, but for both of them. And again, there's so much fanfare, and the Hall of Famers come on. I mean, I couldn't believe how many were here.
26 Hall of Famers.
So great. Yeah. So the other thing is to be able to get out there, we talk about this stuff to get ready for the game, to be able to calm your emotions and get back to it. And that's where I think Kyle's an expert at it. Bryson Stott's been the best hitter really on this team over the last couple of months, I think all around. But yeah, with Kyle, that's just so cool and so important because Kyle's home run, it's either a home run, it's a walk, or a strikeout. It's one of the three outcomes with him. Just do home runs.
Yeah.
It's way easier.
Yeah, they're much more fun.
They're much more fun.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't done, as you know, because with the Phils leading 2-0, we're in the fourth inning. Aaron Nola was pitching well for the Phils, and the Phils in the top of the fourth inning, a walk to Brandon Marsh to lead things off, but then back-to-back outs, Realmuto and Crawford. But once again, with 2 outs and a runner on, Kyle Schwarber at the plate.
Out of a stretch, the delivery. Oh, this ball's hammered toward right field. It is high. It has a serious chance. Back to the wall is Keishel. He's at the wall, and he jumps. Oh, and he knocked it over. He jumped to catch it. It hit his glove, and the ball dropped over the wall. That's his 37th home run now for Kyle Schwarber. Wow, and the Phils are going to jump up 4-1. I mean, I feel bad for Keishel and great for Schwarber at the same time.
Yeah, I don't feel so bad for Keishel.
You don't.
He hit a home run. He was the lone run for the Twins. He hit that in the second inning, but then a real opportunity to make a great play out there in right field. And it would have been a great play. He had a long way to go. The walls are just to that height where players can get up and over. But as you called it perfectly, off the glove, over the wall, and a home run. So another 2-run shot that time. Kyle Schwarber just keeps it going.
Yeah, as a defender, that's what you dream of.
Yeah.
Not hitting it over the wall, but
you dream of
Field of Dreams, front of the crowd. I'm going to steal a home run from Kyle Schwarber. Yeah. And instead, there you go, Kyle. And unfortunate for them, really fortunate for Kyle. I do think after what we saw after the later innings, we saw some fly balls start to get knocked down. So something's up. Like the wind was blowing in. Anything that got real high, I think, was starting to kind of blow around. So for him, the right fielder, that's Keishel out there, you brought it up too. He took a real interesting route.
Yeah.
Because that ball was kind of moving.
It was blowing.
Yeah.
It was blowing. He started, I wouldn't say, he started pretty much in right field and ended up in the right field corner.
Right.
Before that ball went over the wall and cleared the wall. So at that point, it made 4-1 Phillies, but the Phils not done in the fourth inning because the very next batter was Trey Turner. He would double, and that brought Bryce Harper to the plate.
First pitch, swing, and this ball is going to be on the ground. Up the middle, through for a base hit. That's going to score Turner. And that'll be another run for the Phils as they're going to go up 5-1. RBI base hit for Bryce Harper here in the top of the fourth inning. Harp, he's been a walk machine.
Yeah.
And all of that, I think, is sparked from Arise. I haven't dug into exactly, why sort of thing. Is he getting pitches? Is he not? My personal opinion is I think Bryce is just starting to focus and have better at-bats. Now, this is me, okay? And I don't know if anybody agrees, but Some people don't like him going to right field. I do like him going out there because I said it till I'm blue in the face. He's a hitter first. There's a lot of energy that you have to give to being in the infield. It is a focal point. You are involved in every play. Now you're at first base, and you have to catch every out. There's a lot going on there. And you go to the right, you go to the outfield where he's still comfortable. He plays fine out there. I just think you start to focus a little bit differently. He might disagree, as Kevin Long might. I don't. I have turned around so many times when I played and looked at my outfielder behind me, and they're working on their swing, like in between outs. So I think that's part of it. But I'm happy to see that he's seen the ball well, and he's getting his hits, and he needs to keep doing it.
That's an interesting point. And, yes, he does need to keep on doing it. At that point, it was 5-1 Phillies. And, meanwhile, as I mentioned, Aaron Nola pitching well. He had allowed a couple of base runners here and there. He allowed the solo home run in the second. In the fifth inning, though, he gets in a little bit of trouble. He would strike out the first two batters in the fifth inning, but then Byron Buxton would double. He would walk Ryan Jeffers, and then he would walk Josh Bell. So the bases were loaded with 2 outs, and he was facing Royce Lewis.
0-2 count. Nola, the pitch. Breaking ball got him. Swinging. Big strikeout for Aaron Nola. After a double and a couple of walks, loads the bases but gets the big strikeout to end the threat here in the bottom of the fifth.
Big moment of the game, Stock. Big moment. If he gets a base hit there, it's 5-3. The momentum shifts to the Twins. That was a huge strikeout.
It was great. It was a timing issue too, because I know Caleb had just gone out there to talk to him. I'm sure in the back of their minds they're thinking to themselves, "Do we have somebody ready? What do we do?" Aaron's a veteran. He's been around a long time, and I think he's pitched really well. Overall, I know his record doesn't reflect it. He hasn't been getting run support. That's the Aaron that we used to see, and a manager keeps with him. He sticks with him and says, "It's your game. You go out there and get it." And Aaron, man, he just had that curveball working.
It was big. It was big. It would be the end of his night after that. Nola would go 5 innings with 5 hits allowed, just the 1 run, 3 walks, and he had 9 strikeouts. 9 strikeouts for Aaron Nola. Terrific outing for him. Phillies, a little bit more offense in the 7th. Alec Boehm with a 1-out double, and then Brandon Marsh to the plate.
A look at second in the 1-2 pitch. Brandon swings, smokes it right field. Long run for Keishel, looking up at the wall, and it's gone. And Brandon Marsh sends one into the cornfield. A 2-run home run for Marsh. And the Phillies now with a 7-1 lead here in the 7th inning as Marsh hits his 17th of the season.
Good for Brandon. He went through a stretch. He had the great beginning of the year, clearly. And some people are like, "Oh, back to the old." Brandon, he is who he is. He's going to go up there and give you a good at-bat. He had a slump, just like every other player on the team. So I think Brandon, and he kind of said it too, he was so excited after the game to have been here, thinking that this could be a spark. Been a little while since he'd hit a home run, so that was good for him.
Yeah, it was good to see it, and what a great moment and a memory for him as well. As they say in the movie, the guys down there on the field, the Schwarbers, the Harpers, the guys, the Aaron Nola, Brandon Marsh are going to have to wipe away the memories like cobwebs from their face, right?
Oh.
I mean, because that's the way this kind of night unfolded, and it was. And we'll get to do the same because it really was just a terrific night and a lot of fun, and the Phils get the win, a much-needed win. They'll have an off day tomorrow and then 2 games in Minnesota to finish up this 3-game series with the Minnesota Twins. Phils could use a series win, but they'll get back to work on Saturday, a much-needed off day tomorrow.
Yeah, the off day for everybody, I think, just to be able to relax, kind of recoup. Obviously, the bullpen was stressed back at home, but I also think you go home happy. You get it tonight, you get in late, you sleep, you wake up in a good mood. It's always best like that on an off day. So,
yeah, I would agree with that. And you mentioned the bullpen. Just a quick shout out because Brooks Raley, Jonathan Bolin, Ryan Kirkring, and Duran were terrific tonight coming out of the bullpen, and they've had their share of struggles. So we should mention really, really solid effort tonight, able to keep that lead right where it was. They even add to it, and the Phils get the win 7-1. Kevin Stocker, thank you very much.
You got it, buddy.
It was fun being here with you. We'll take a quick break here on the show, but when we come back, we'll get you a couple of out-of-town scores and a little bit more here in Iowa. So stay with us on the Phillies Radio Network.
People will come, Ray. They'll come to Iowa, Paris's they can't even fathom. They'll turn up your driveway, not knowing for sure why they're doing it. They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past. Of course, we won't mind if you look around, you'll say, it's only $20 per person. They'll pass over the money without even thinking about it. For it is money they have and peace they lack.
Yeah, and peace they lack. What a great speech by James Earl Jones in that movie. Terrence Mann is the character. If you haven't seen this movie yet, what are you waiting for, folks? What a night it was here in Dyersville, Iowa. Welcome back to Phillies Playback. For every Phillies run scored this year, Philadelphia Insurance Companies is donating $100 to Phillies charities. Tonight, the Phillies scored 7 runs, which means Philadelphia Insurance Companies donating $700 to Phillies charities. 7 runs on 12 hits for the Phils, no errors. 1 run on 8 hits, no errors for Minnesota. Aaron Nola gets the win. He is 4-9. Taj Bradley takes the loss. He is 9-5. It took 2 hours and 52 minutes to play in front of a very lucky 7,163 people watching this game here tonight at the Field of Dreams. All right, elsewhere on the out-of-town scoreboard, just it's a light night in baseball here on Thursday. The Pirates all over the Marlins. They beat them 13-1. Braxton Ashcraft had a complete game in that 13-1 win. The Nationals, they beat the Cubs 7-0 down there in Washington, D.C. The Angels have a 2-0 lead early over the Rangers. That's through 2 innings. The Brewers and the Dodgers are through 3 innings. No score out there in L.A. The Guardians and the Tigers, Detroit wins that game 3-0. Earlier today, the White Sox fall to the Reds, 9-8 the final. The Mariners win 1-0 over the Yankees in the Bronx, and the Red Sox beat the Blue Jays tonight, 7-0 was the final. Take another break here on the show, but when we come back, we'll put a wrap on this game here from Iowa, the Field of Dreams game. We'll be back right after this, so stay with us.
Is this heaven? No. It's Iowa.
Yeah, it certainly is, and what a show the Iowa's put on here tonight at the Field of Dreams. It was just absolutely terrific, everything that you could have hoped for in terms of, if you were a Phillies fan, the big win, the 7-1 win, and all of the festivities that led into this game. Everything was just terrific here today. So for every Phillies home run hit this season, Hatfield Quality Meats is donating 100 pounds of food to Phil Abundance. Phillies also hit 3 home runs tonight, 2 off the bat of Kyle Schwarber. Brandon Marsh had 1 as well, so that's 300 pounds of food to Phil Abundance, courtesy of Hatfield Quality Meats. Well, the Phillies will have an off day tomorrow, a much-needed off day after 14 straight days with games. The Phils will be off tomorrow and continue this series with Minnesota on Saturday. That game is at 7:10, which means we'll be on the air at 6:35 with another edition of Phillies on Deck presented by the Score Bet. But that is going to do it for us here tonight. Phillies win it 7-1. Our thanks to Mike Tuberosa, engineering here in our booth in Iowa, and Dan Wilson back in our Phillies studios. I'm Greg Murphy saying thanks for listening, and goodbye from Iowa. And we'll talk to you on Saturday right here on the Phillies Radio Network.